Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the evening stream for Wednesday. It's already Wednesday. What's happening? How's the time going by so fast? All right. Sandstorm break. Almost done. Chansey giveaway. Finish it. Almost done. Let's say Chansey giveaway almost done. So Sandstorm almost done. No, let's say close. Let's not copy the first one. All right, Sandstorm. Let's say Sandstorm pack split. Close. Chansey giveaway close. And fresh, let's see. Boost, no, fresh binder break. All right, for the people who have not seen the change to the binder break, which is a new thing on the menu, the binder break. It's pretty new. Also, let's take a quick look into this. Let's see. Yeah, that looks fine. All right, good. So let me delete this email real fast. Let me turn on the iPad. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Wow, it feels like I was here just like a minute ago. All right. It really does. I feel like I was here just like 2 seconds ago streaming. I didn't put up the basic thumbnail, so it's got a default thumbnail for us. Melissa Vicious, Whipple, Team Rocket Grunt, PDX, Space Hammy. Space Hammy, what's up, man? All right. So we are live again. Let me hit refresh on this. Good. Let me close this. Let me pop this window out, and we're going to pin the website into the stream. Pause that. The music is one of my favorite songs. It's Advanced Wars. So we're still doing that. Hit refresh on this now. Hey, what's up, Andy Dirksen? How's it going, man? All right, so I better download this just to be safe. We're going to hit save. Save. And now we're going to jump over here and get this default thumbnail uploaded. All right, here it is. We'll hit save on that. Good. So now we've got a default thumbnail up. TheCardconomist, hello. How are you doing today? Hey, what's up, man? Welcome to the evening stream. It's about 3 p.m. in California, 6 p.m. in New York, 5 p.m. in Texas. Ooh. Well, shucks. Texas and Chicago. Chicago's, they're Central Time, right? I'm pretty sure they are. All right, we'll close this. Did you know at one point St. Louis was such a big city and Chicago hadn't developed as much? And so back in the day, they used to look at the two cities like they were kind of even to each other. I wonder what went wrong. Because St. Louis did not become the bigger city. Yeah. When you go there, it's you kind of get a sense of it. You kind of go, ooh, this place is not right. Let's see. If you'll consider trade cash, let me know. Excuse me. Oh, yeah, I posted a picture. So I actually made some content for once. You know, I've been really far behind on that. How do I look at my stuff? How's this picture doing? There should be a picture here. Yes. All right. Is this one guy? Oh my God, bro. Wait, don't I have private messages with this guy? Let's see. We'll jump back over here. Oh, I gotta respond to this guy. Is this not working? Let me hit refresh. There's this guy that follows me on Discord. I'm sorry, on Instagram, and he's always looking for my Charizard or not Charizard, my Dragonite, and I kind of reject him on it. And I don't know what it is. I feel like we have like a pissing contest with each other. So I took a picture of my Dragonites, and he came in and made kind of a negative post. Let's see. All right, let's see. I'm going to respond differently. All right. All right, I'm teasing him a bit. I don't understand how people, there is a bit of competitiveness with Pokemon card collecting. And so if you run into another collector, you can sense sometimes that they don't like you just because of your cards, no other reason. Like you don't even know each other, but you just have good cards and they're like mad about it or something. And it's like, all right, dude. Okay. He wants your Dragonites, huh? Dude, I swear he fought with me one time. What did he want to buy? I don't remember what he was trying to buy from me. Was he trying to buy the no rarity Dragonite? I can't remember what he was trying to buy. Maybe he was trying to buy a Rocket Returns Dragonite. And I turned him down just multiple times. And then he was crap talking the no hollow Dragonite. He was like, oh, it sucks. And I was like, uh-huh. He's a big time Dragonite collector, and that's one of the ones he doesn't have. And I was like, oh man, I'm over here crying because it sucks. So I was kind of, sassing him back, which I suppose is what you do. And I don't remember how that ended. Did he like block me? Did I block him? I don't think we blocked each other. How do you message someone on Discord? I don't even see the option. Maybe he like like blocked me or something. But he came over here and he made a comment on my latest Instagram post, it's a simple post. It's just a picture of my Dragonites. That's it. It's just a picture of my Rocket Returns Dragonites. But he's just got like this mean thing to say. And it's like, bro, let me see if I can find him. Hold on. Let me see if I can just find him in my messages. Oh, there it is. Oh, no. Okay, so here he is. Yeah, we had like a back and forth. I don't think we're blocked between each other. Let's see what he was trying to buy. He's saying he wouldn't pay more than $1,000 for the no hollow Dragonite. See, that's some crap talking, man. He's just saying that because he doesn't own one. But let's see. I'm looking to see how much he was offering me. Let's see. He was offering me. I'm loving this music, by the way. Even if you guys don't recognize it, I love this music. I think he wanted to buy it for like $5,000. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, he's talking. Here we go. He's like, would you talk to me about selling one of your Dragonites? I'm like, not really. And then he's like, well, I say basically that I think the card is performing well. And he says, well, it's only performing well because I'm the guy buying them, right? He says, I have 10 of them. And then he's like, well, you should sell me. I bought a copy for $5,500. So I think he was, suggesting I should sell him one of mine for around that price. Boy, I'm glad I didn't listen to him. I told him I think it was underpriced at that value. And he was trying to talk it down and be like, no, it sucks. But that Dark Dragonite just sold for $18,000. There'll be a video on it tomorrow. I already recorded it. It's so funny, man. Can you sell it to me for $5? And I took a Sandstorm spot. Nice. All right. So Sandstorm, guys, there is one spot left in the Sandstorm. Let me make sure that we advertise this stream. Let me go ahead and ping the Discord. He wanted to buy it for like $5K from me. He was trying to talk it down. And I was like, it's not going to work. Good thing I didn't listen to him. We're going live for, let's see, Wednesday evening. There we go. Very good. We're jumping over here. We got Todd Peters. I'm sick. You're not feeling well? I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. A. Perez. Well, like a cold or something? I hope you feel better. I'm sick and tired of these Pokemon. That's it. I'm selling my entire collection. I'm getting out. I never want to see another Pikachu for the rest of my life. Yeah, I'm kidding. There you go. Actually, that's when you make your most money, is when you run into somebody who feels that way. That guy's I call them a motivated seller. Motivated seller. That's where you make your money, is when you find a motivated seller and say, I'll buy it all. Here we go. It's unbelievable to me. Some people have ridiculous amounts of money to be tossing around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 9. One spot remains for the Sandstorm. Tonight, Sandstorm's going off. It probably will go off, but I'm not 100% sure. But it probably will. Yeah, so when I started in Pokemon, I did not have very much money to throw around. I started out like pretty much a normal person. I was making good money on YouTube. I was making about $80,000 a year on YouTube. That's good money. And so I had the advantage because of that job on YouTube. This was not TheCardconomist, is my other successful YouTube channel, The Game Economist. I was already a successful YouTuber 7 years ago. And I wanted to start investing, and I chose Pokemon. But here's a crazy thing. I didn't have like $20,000 laying around or anything. But I started buying and selling cards, and slowly it snowballed because of the change in the price of the cards. So I just pumped everything into Pokemon and kept all my Pokemon as much as I could. And now it's sort of like I have a ridiculous amount. So you can start with very little and trade your way up if you hold when everyone else is selling, and if you buy even when people aren't sure that a product is really worth a high price. Some of my best purchases were cards that seemed like they were wrongly priced, so no one was buying them because they really couldn't imagine them being much more expensive later. So like one of my most expensive purchases was this guy. And people were talking, I was actually negotiating with other sellers, and they were telling me how I overpaid when I bought him for $22,000. There was a guy who ridiculed me for it. He said, well, I just got one off eBay auction for $18,000 or something like that, right? And that was true. There was an eBay sale recently of it around 18, so I paid a whole $4,000 over that. And that's how it goes. I mean, sometimes you overpay, but it's like a couple years down the road, it ends up not mattering. And that's part of the trickiness of buying and selling Pokemon cards. You sell when people are holding, and you hold when people are selling. You know, you go against the crowd sometimes. And it's very confusing to do that because we're very social creatures. So you got to avoid FOMO sometimes. And you got to realize when the market's wrong and should be having FOMO. Like, you should be trying to buy this thing. It's a lot more desirable than you realize. It's hard to do that. It's kind of like it's a psychological twisting. Here it is. Oscar Resendez buying the last spot in the Sandstorm pack. Whoa. All right. It's going off. We only have 35 people in here. Should we wait a minute? We only have 35 people in here. I feel that we should have like 60 people in here when we open it. But it is done. We are. Let me go ahead and start prepping the next pack split. How about that? How does that sound? So this is done. I'll set that there. Wow, you mean I'm here for the break this time and I've had a cold for 3 weeks? I hate it. Oh, you had a cold for 3 weeks? How does that work? That sounds awful. So where did I put this? All right, so the next pack shall be a Japanese pack with a guaranteed holographic card in it. We're going for Snorlax, everybody. This is Japanese Jungle. I picked this out before the stream started, so I already knew what I wanted. Okay. Okay. It hits you with a random sleepiness. I said Randy. Hey, Mr. and chat. Hey, what's up, man? Hey, you guys want to hear something interesting? Miss Quip just got hired to do a commission drawing for Gengar. So she'll be drawing Gengar now. How cool is that? She drew these other ones, and these are already completed and ready to sell. But somebody has hired her to do Gengar, and the price on that was also $150. So I thought you might find that interesting. She's drawn a lot of cards, and we've sold a lot of her cards. Now, let's take a look at the jungle packs, shall we? Let's see. I think I'm going to go get some pho. I was a little late, right under you on the feed. Was a 4-minute video of a farmer buying a computer back in 1995. Oh, yeah. Back then, computers were like $3,000 or some crazy crap, right? Whoa. 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 The price of jungle packs have changed. Hold on, wait a second. Oh my gosh, that's expensive. I don't know if we're going to do this. Oh my gosh. So wait, so the Sandstorm price was pretty good. Let's see. Divided by 10. Oh my gosh, this would be $59 per spot. Let me check Rocket. We do not want to do Japanese, apparently. Holy, that's expensive. Do 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 ba do boo baby do. Scooby doo ba doo doo. Well, well, well. Let's get a Team Rocket Returns pack out. What do you guys think? Team Rocket Returns? We'll do a split on Team Rocket Returns. Should be 400 a pack. Damn, bro. You know how expensive that ultimately is? That's closer to 440 after taxes, right? And then when I sell it, I have to pay taxes on the profit, but also I have to pay the processing fee, which is usually about 3%. That's crazy, dude. And then there still has to be a profit margin in there like a regular business, right? That's crazy. I think we might do Rocket again. I could do Fossil and I could do Jungle. But to be honest with you, I think the pulls are better when you do Rocket. So I think Rocket boosters are where it's at right now. I just can't believe how expensive it is. They have went up a good bit. I remember just like a year ago or so, I was buying Japanese vintage from you for like $179 a pack. Right, and that was considered expensive. That's the crazy part. That was actually considered expensive. Okay, let's set this up to be max 500 real fast. We're looking into Team Rocket right now, everybody. I'm a huge Rocket fan, and I'd love to host a Rocket Pack break again. The last Rocket Pack break took a while to go off, but Rocket Unlimited packs might be a good value right now. I mean, if you pull an Unlimited Holo Charizard, you're not really going to... It's not going to bother you that much that he's unlimited. Still a great card. Let's see. My God, this music is my childhood. Doing a little hunting here, guys. We're waiting for more people to join the stream. Sandstorm is sold. There's no more spots for Sandstorm. Don't try to buy it. Sandstorm is sold. It's going off now. What I'm doing in the meantime is I'm working on the next pack break. We're trying to pick something. Ooh, but not from this guy. Yikes. Mister, did you see PSA roast the price of grading? Yeah, they suck, dude. It's too expensive. It's way too expensive. All right, so I believe the next pack will be Rocket again. So we're jumping back to Rocket. Rocket's kind of my choice just because I think the value is there. I'm trying to get you guys the most value. Uh-huh. Not this one, though. This one appears to be resealed. Wow, man, that's crazy. How about this one? Crazy. It's crazy out there, guys. Mm-hmm. Doopity-boo-boop-a-dooby-doo. All right, we're going to go with this one, I guess. I'm probably still going to send my other celebration cards to PSA, says Mr. STP. What's up, man? EX Dragon for the next pack break. EX Dragon, huh? Okay, let me take a look into it. We can do a really expensive pack break if we get enough serious buyers. Let's take a quick look. It's a really big, expensive one. So it's looking like it's 850 before taxes. So let me do a little calculation. Divided by 9. It would be 127 per spot. It's a 9-spot break, right? Is it a 9-spot? Yeah, it's a 9-spot. 127 per spot. I could host it. I significantly doubt someone would join it, but I could host it. But it looks like we are going to do Team Rocket, Team Sprocket. Did I already pay for it? Hold on. Doobie boo, boo doo. Yes, it's gone. Okay. So we have paid for this. All right. It was going to be this jungle pack until we found out jungle packs are like $400 now. Dear Jesus, dear baby Jesus. What about Magma versus Aqua Pack break? That would be interesting. I don't think I have one of those. All right. So we're picking this one because I believe it does deliver you guys a lot of value. Okay, and it will be $38 per spot. Is that what it was last time? Was it 38? No. Scooby Buns. All right. 44 last time. Why the difference? I'm going to make this 39. Maybe that's why that one took a while to go off. Maybe it had been wrongly priced. I don't know. All right. I did notice that last one was a little bit slower than usual until it got near the end. Then, of course, it went off really fast. All right. Apparently, this is really expensive, and I need to handle it super carefully. We got 44 people in here, but only 7 likes. We can't open this up until the likes are higher. Smash that like button. Let me show you guys something. There we go. Did you know the people who worked on this game, Advanced Wars, they also made Paper Mario? How cool is that? They also made Fire Emblem. Look at the dust on that. Do you see that dust? That's how long this has been sitting. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5. A round of 5 in here, right? Yep, 5. Look at all that dust. Wow, that's a lot of dust. And that's 5 in there. And this is 2 more. So 5, 10, 15, 19, 21. 21 packs right there. All bought from the same booster box a long time ago. We were living in the blue lake house at the time when I bought these. And I believe I paid something like $70 per pack. That's all I paid, $70. Now they're worth $400. Wow. That's really crazy. Look at that. Isn't that wild? That's crazy. That's been sitting on my shelf for a very long time, just aging. I don't know what to say. All right, but this guy shall go back into storage. That means all those Japanese singles are going up too. Probably. Yeah, somebody's Destiny's in there, man. Some really good packs there. This was before people had the ability to scan, or anyone knew you had the ability to scan these with the CT scanner. So these were bought pre-CT scanning era. Man, $400 each individual pack? No, apparently more than that. More like $450-ish. And they're not for sale, obviously. I'm just going to let them keep aging. Of course, this doesn't really hold a candle to somebody who owns a complete sealed Japanese box of them. I don't know if I have a box of the Japanese jungles. I might have a box of the Japanese fossils. I'm curious now. I'm going to go look. All right, here we are. That's right. I own a box of Japanese Fossil. I also own a box of Japanese Gym Challenge, and I own a box of Neo 2, and I own, I think it's either 1 or 2 boxes of the Rocket, and I own a box of the base set. So I got all kinds of stuff, man. I got some old Japanese boxes. That's a lot of money. All right, you guys ready for this? Let's get it started. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, we don't need this. We don't need this. What am I doing? This is a pack split. EX Dragon has the best Charizard artwork in the history of the TCG. He's one of the only Charizards I didn't buy. And you know why I didn't buy him? Because I didn't like the way he looked. I thought he looked kind of goofy. I thought he looked kind of boxy. He looked kind of square. I was like, I don't know. Yeah, he's one of the only ones I didn't buy. I could have bought him for like $5K and I didn't want him. Neo Destiny reminds me of Pokemon Johto. He says, "Aw, man. Saw you short about the Sandstorm pack split and people talking crap on them as if they don't always fill." Yeah, there was some really mean comments on our video talking about the Sandstorm pack. They call it like a raffle. They said I had credit card debt. One guy's like, "You must have credit card debt." I was like, "What are you talking about, dude?" We've been hosting the same pack splits for like almost 7 years. I think it's 6 years. People love them. If they were cheaper, they'd just fly off the shelf and I wouldn't be able to keep up with them. But they sell either way, and we've probably eliminated whole booster boxes worth of singles booster packs. And I have the proof of this. I have huge boxes on my shelf, huge ones, full of empty boosters from the singles we've sold over time. Gigantic. If I could make a video out of it. Of course, I don't want to touch them. They're covered in dust. Probably start sneezing my head off. But this is one of the most popular products. People love it because it's a sealed booster pack, not a slab, not a single, not like some sort of, like the binder break. It's a genuine sealed Pokemon pack. So let's get started. Oh, right. So we're going to, well, let's open it up and then I'll make the post on the breaks history. Let's see who's in here. We got Oscar, Todd, Edgar, Alexandra, and Burwar, who has paid for 2 things. $40 TCCG grading and $9 shipping when I'm done. How cool is that? Cardconomist grading is available again, $40. It's like a souvenir. It's you know, we'll give it a serious grade. So if you go shopping for a Cardconomist card on eBay, which I don't know if you guys have ever tried doing that. Have you ever tried doing that, shopping for a Cardconomist card on eBay? We take the grading very seriously. My grading scale is to copy PSA. That's my grading scale, by the way. So we mimic PSA. Very tough. The 10s are very hard to get. No, Mr. Chad. He had cameras everywhere, guns in the house, blah, blah, blah. Still got robbed. Probably smart sending off a portion of his slabs. Just saw a video of a guy who had a huge Liberty safe getting robbed. They cut it open while he was gone. Thinks it might have been a contractor. Shoo! Yeah, I have been sending all of my slabs off to the PSA vault. I'm thinking I might send a couple vintage booster boxes off too, but you can't send those to PSA. So I think I've got to send them to the Fanatics vault, which is something I'm going to learn soon. It used to be the PWCC vault, and I used to keep a jungle box with the PWCC vault. Here we are. All right. So give me a number. Hey, any PSA 10 English Pokemon over 1K for sale? Hey, how's it going? We might have something like that. My TCCG to PSA crossover rate is 1,000 out of 6 cards. Shahir says 8. You got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, you have done the split. And now, time to open this bad boy. Ooh. Oh, somebody's getting Pikachu, bro. This is already a good pack. Somebody's getting Pikachu in the comments. Oh my God, that is so lucky. Look at that. All right, we're flipping it around. Now, here's the deal. I don't remember how the rares and all that work in these Sandstorm packs. It's super weird. So I think this could be the rare card right here. So we might spoil the whole pack right away. So it's just the way it is. We're just going to find out what it is, okay? Here goes. Todd Peters. Look at that. Mr. Todd. This might be the rare. I don't remember. That is the rare. You got multi-energy. Ah, darn. All right, multi-energy is not the top pull, obviously. You'll notice it's not holographic, so this is a light pack. Now, despite it being a light pack, somebody's still going to get a reverse holo. So we'll find out who gets that reverse holo. I'm actually rooting for Burwar because that guy's going to encapsulate it too, so that would be cool. But I don't really take anyone's side. So whoever gets it, gets it. Here you go, Mr. Todd. Okay, so now we can say this was not a heavy pack. Not really surprised. Heavy packs are hard to come by. They're like, again, if it's like the WotC era, it's every 3 packs are cold, right? Mr. Edgar Gonzalez is next. So what is this is the question. Is this a reverse holo? Wow, that looks very clean. Look at that card, huh? Maybe that little tiny speck right there. Boom. It's Edgar Gonzalez. He is pulling the reverse holo. It's reverse holo Dunsparce, and he might have a shot at a 10. That was really clean, actually. Wow, I did not expect that to be the reverse holo. I handled it really carefully just in case. So it's centered so well. I think it's all going to come down to this corner right here. So you see that's got a tiny speck on it. And so I think you'll come down to that. These grading companies are getting crazy harsh. So hopefully you got a 10 there. Let me go get a top loader out. Dunsparce reverse holo. Not exactly Umbreon. All right, we have to find out who pulls that Pikachu now. Okay, Edgar, congratulations. Somebody got a Pikachu in here, and we want to see the other commons as well. Set this over here. Look at that, guys. So Sandstorm pack. The last card is the rare. The second to last is the reverse holo. Now, we know. I always forget that. So far, I did not make more than PSA 9 on a base set 2 card. Blinding. Here's Miss Alexandra. All right, Alexandra, you're going to pull. Ready? Laleep. Wow, that looks so cool, man. These old e-reader cards are so neat. God, that's so satisfying. I gotta say, I love this set. I love that it actually has a reverse holo Umbreon in it that goes for like $5,000. And everyone just kind of forgets about this pack, Sandstorm. $5,000 Umbreon in there, probably underpriced at $5,000. Here's Mr. Edgar. Okay, he's got another card in here. He's been going kind of deep. Really appreciate you, man. Let's see what he got. Damn, look at that Kirlia. That looks cool. Okay, good. Some Nintendo e-reader packs come with the Pokemon pack, which people forget about. Here's Burwar. Ooh, so we get to do a little pre-grade on his card right now. Remember, he's already paid for me to grade this with Cardconomist grading. So Burwar, not bad, not bad. Okay. It actually looks pretty clean. I would say it's got one issue. It's got these lips on it. Oops. So as we know, the grading companies haven't been super kind over the lips, but look at these corners. They're looking so clean otherwise. Let me zoom out here. All right. So the question is, what is it? Ready? Dunsparce. He is the king of this set today. Double Dunsparce it is. All right. Dunsparce all day long. The last sold PSA 10 for Dunsparce is 412. Yeah, and if you get yours to grade 10, I wouldn't ask 400. I ask like 600 or 700 just because it would be like a freshly graded one. Yeah, okay, there we go. So this shall say Burwar. Do I have this guy's shipping address? Okay, and it's going to say Abdul Ghafoor. So nice to meet you. We're going to say TCCG. And we're also going to say SH for shipping. There it is. Have you sold any Beckett 10 Celebrations Zard yet? A Beckett 10 Celebrations Zard. No, I don't think I have. All right, so that's going to be queued up now. I got to take care of that for him. When should I do that, you think, huh? All right, now. Maybe I just do it right after this stream, right? Got to be done at some point, maybe sooner than later. Here's Miss Alexandra. All right, Alexandra, what do you have here? This is looking like a pretty nice card just with some lips. The commons coming out of here are genuinely looking like they have a shot at a 10. Look at those nice, clean blue borders with no white dots. Oh, Whalmer. If you get a 10 on this Whalmer, I know a guy who might want it. Steven Sistrunk. He likes Whalmers. All right, so that's for Miss Alexandra. Dunsparce, lol, how do I send you my address? I had to grade an e-reader for memories. Hell yeah, dude. So you're wondering how to send me your address. Well, if you paid with PayPal, PayPal automatically gives me your address. If you paid a different way, you can always email your address here to TheCardconomist@gmail.com. So you can just screenshot this if you need to check the how to write it, but it's just gmail.com. There we go. And that would be perfect for getting it shipped out. All right, done, Sparse, bro. Could have been Pikachu. Here's Miss Alexandra. Somebody's going to get Pikachu if you guys have been watching this. Any Evo Skies PSA 10 for Cyberway. New. There we go. Let's see. Lotad for Miss Alexandra. All right. Ta-da! She went deep on this, man. That's pretty sweet. That's pretty ballsy. Here's Oscar Resendez. Ooh, you're so close to the Pikachu, Oscar. But let's see what you're pulling. So far, the commons in this set have looked really nice. Yeah, look at that again. Pretty clean. Doesn't mean he'll get a guaranteed 10. Trapinch! Oh, my God. All right, Trapinch is still cool, though. He's the Flygon starter. Flygon's kind of popular. He actually makes sense for this set a lot. If you're going to have Sandstorm, you got to have Trapinch and Flygon. Okay. So close to the Pikachu. You're getting real close, man. But the Pikachu might not be a 10. So who cares? You know, if he gets a 9, and not that great. Now, we'll find out, though. Boom! That's Mr. Edgar. Edgar wins everything. No, but he did really well. So let's see. Let's check out this Pikachu. It's pretty clean looking. Might have a shot at a 10. Is he watching? Look at that. It's so pretty. I might as well top load this for him just to be nice about it. I mean, it's a pack fresh Pikachu. You got to take your shot. You got to send it out. Remember, we do middleman grading if you need any help with that, but we can also send it home to you if you prefer to do your own grading. So there is Edgar's round right there. You know, he had a tough round in a different break. I don't remember which one it was, but it looks like his luck over here in the Sandstorm's kind of making up for it. Pikachu is a big deal. If he gets a 10, he'll be a couple $100. I think he'll be like 150 at least. Dunsparce last sold 400. Curly, I don't know, but Curly is not bad. Gardevoir, middle evolution. Curlia could have been much worse. All right. There we have it. That's the end of the Sandstorm pack split. Did you guys like that? Pack splits. We've been hosting these for a very long time, and they're very popular. They are very popular. They always have been. They're pricier than they used to be. That's the downside. You know, when I started doing this pack splits 6 years ago, you could have gotten into that pack break very cheaply. Wouldn't have cost you anything. The packs would have been cheap, and to get into it wouldn't have cost you much. Here we are. Oh, right. He was in the first Rocket split, and he didn't snatch the rare. That's what it was. So it's almost like you bought a full pack from me, except it's like you bought one full pack, and these are your pulls. Isn't that funny? That's how it feels if you think about it, but they're mixed. So you got one rare and one round that didn't get a rare. But you could have had bad luck and not pulled a rare, or you could have had very good luck and pulled 2 rares. There you go. Okay. So that's the end of the pack split. What did you guys think of that? Some people are really going to make their money back on their cards. It's going to be easy. You know, like that Pikachu will make him a profit, actually, if he paid $67 for it in grades 10. You fools! EBT is for food. Mister, do you accept musical numbers and dances for payments? Depends. Or even a heartfelt haiku. EBT would be diabolical. Somebody asked if you accept EBT. You want the real answer? I researched it. If you try to pay for something other than food with your EBT, that is against the law. Okay, so don't do anything to get yourself in trouble. All right, just stick to the laws and enjoy your EBT. Buy yourself some sardines. It is. Consequently, I also like sardines. So if you guys have a lot of sardines and you want to send me some, I could probably trade you some Pokemon for that. I like sardines. Here's Charmeleon, Articuno, Radiant Venusaur, Slay King. So this is the binder break now. Miss Alexandra is in here. Binder break round number 5. And the binder break is just a bunch of ungraded cards This is not going to grade 10, this Aaron. He's just really cute. He's in decent condition, but he's probably above a 1. But he's not a 10, I can tell you that. So some vintage cards. Pokemon Go Tyranitar, Radiant Venusaur, Skarmory, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. This cool Whiscash. The nice poker cards. You've seen this all before in the daytime stream if you were watching the daytime stream. Now this is probably a 10. This Venusaur is probably 10. This Charmeleon is probably a 10. We got some Korean cards. Wigglytuff English, Dodowo. This is Upper Deck Patrick. It's kind of a vintage card. This will probably grade 10. This is Darkness Energy. This will probably grade 10. This is Umbreon. Here's Hippowdon, Vanillix, Staraptor, Lipard. Those are just some commons, but they're yellow border commons. Here's the Taruka Volbeat. Okay. And then some Topps Disney 100, Dopey, Woody, and the Tramp. What's interesting, these packs of Disney 100 cost like $170 or $200. I don't know what they go for now. They're like insanely expensive. And they only come with 4 cards. And this is 3 cards right here. Dopey, Woody, the Tramp. All right, and then here's a nice Sonic. Here's a Magmar First Edition. It's a good round. The binder break's looking fat. We added some good stuff to it recently, and we can add more to it right now if we wish. Miss Alexandra's in there, but that one might actually not need much else to go off because it's pretty good this round. Do you got the big Japanese boxes, the 60-pack ones? Yes. I have been collecting Pokemon for 7 years. I paid $8,000 for a Japanese base set box. Who here wants to see that? Smash that like button. If we get to 25 likes, I'll go grab it, okay? Let me go check the queue right now, see if anything's going on. So I've got some cool Japanese booster boxes locked away. And one of my favorites is the base set booster box. And I don't know what it's worth today. You probably look up a price for it on eBay. He accepts sardines. Sardines are amazing. I do. I really do accept sardines. I love them. I probably shouldn't. Here we are. I don't want you tampering with my sardine box. Let's see. Base set booster box Japanese. You guys wouldn't do that to me. You wouldn't tamper with the box. You'd say, I'm going to get this guy some fish. Come on now. There it is. I got to stock up on my tinned sardines for when World War IV happens. Oh, you can't even find it. Oh, very interesting. You can't even find a box of base set booster anymore for Pokemon Japanese. Oh, on January 4th, one sold for $47,000. Take a quick look. There it is, $47,000. And you can't find one for sale. What? All right, we're at 24 likes. Let me go grab it, okay? I'm going to go grab it. I'm going to show it off. One of my favorite items in my collection. No. I shouldn't be allowed to even be able to walk around with this. It feels dangerous. It feels like it's too expensive to just be walking around with it. Like this should be in some kind of suitcase or something. All right, you ready? Move this out of the way. Okay, so when I bought these, it was a pure gamble. Nobody knew what these were going to be worth. I was just a crazy guy buying Pokemon. Look at this. Ooh. That's the English box right there, the Japanese box right there, the base set box. Sealed. There it is. That was a direct sale between me and a couple who had inherited this after her father passed away. I've never tested it. Obviously I haven't removed the wrapping on it, but I assume I didn't get scammed. I assume it's real. Let me see. Looks real to me. Can you see that in there? All right. So, bought that years ago. They sold it to me for only $8,000, which at the time was cheap because I bought a box of that from PokeRev, I believe, for $13,000. And I negotiated with them for a while. They were scared to ship it to me. They thought I was going to trick them. They're like, I don't know, bro. What if you don't pay us or something? All right, and here's Rocket Box number 1. This is 60 packs of Team Rocket. I really am a huge Team Rocket fan. I love the cards from that time period. See that? See that in there? I love the cards from that time period. So cool. The plastic is torn here. I don't really question the authenticity of these boxes because I bought them at a time when people weren't really creating counterfeit Japanese boxes yet. They were still pretty affordable. They weren't, you know, why would you go through all the trouble of faking them when there were other things to fake? Look at that. See that? You can see the little R in there. See that? Oh, wow. Got a little holder for this one. So cool, man. So that's 120 packs of Team Rocket Japanese right before your eyes. What could that be worth? 120 packs of Japanese Rocket right there. Holy, bro. That's some hot stuff. Mamma mia. Oh, my God. Let's take a look if a box of this has sold online. Rocket Booster Box Japanese. Okay, so if you search that, you just get like the glory of Team Rocket. But when you sort it by highest price, this does not show up. So instead, you probably got to look for like booster pack Japanese. You probably got to find like a Japanese booster pack. So let's see. Here's one. All right, so here's one that sold for like $600. Okay, here's one in February, sold for $550. So we can do 550 times 120, right? So let's say I'm selling these at $550 a pack times 120 packs. $66,000 right there, right in front of your very eyes. $66,000 if they sold at $550 a pack. I mean, I just don't know what to say. I probably bought these for like $2,000 or $4,000. That's probably it. I'm pretty sure I paid something like that. How can that go from like $2,000 to $4,000 to $66,000? It just doesn't make any sense. Pokemon is the most insane product in the world. And the truth is, this is probably more valuable than $33,000 a box just because they're authentic sealed boxes. So people will pay for them to be sealed because it's special. You can't get that. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. We are. I don't know what to do about it. I love having them, but I don't think I can keep them. I think I got to send these off to Fanatics. I think I have to vault these with Fanatics or something. Maybe I buy some nice hard acrylic boxes for them and ship them one at a time. I'm not sure. I like showing them off, though, but I don't like living with them. When they were cheap, it didn't matter. Let me go put these away. So that, hello, second mortgage. Hello, my baby. Hello. So this was about $100,000 just in my hand right here, $100,000. And it's not theoretical. Like, you know, when you have like the Gold Star Gyarados, you're like, maybe it's 100,000. This does not feel like a question of if it's 100,000. It's definitely 100,000. You know why? Because booster packs are so much easier to sell. Normal people can buy booster packs. Only a rich guy can buy Gold Star Gyarados. But normal people can buy these packs at $550 a pack. Maybe like in a break or something, or some people buy it outright. So this is not theoretical. This is probably about $100,000 in my arm. So I'm going to go put it away. I'm going to go lock it up. I'll be back. Please remain. Sometimes I'm just laying on the couch with my wife, and I just feel like a fat, hairy bean or something, and she looks all tired and worn out from work, and we're not like fashionista. We're just kind of laying on the couch like couch potatoes, and I'm like, you married the guy who invested into exactly the correct thing in society. How do you feel about it? And she'll look at me and she'll be like, ew. Pokemon card investing or collecting is not that sexy. We are, but it's very fascinating. We'll just be like, we'll lay on the couch. We're all gross. We're like playing video games. Like, I don't know. So Michael, he says 4 PRB2s, 1 Japanese, EB1. You got it, man. EB1. I like it. Yeah, we'll be laying on the couch. Neither of us were born with the silver spoon in our mouths. I came from a very poor family of 11 children. And she came from a family where she just didn't even have normal things in life because they were so poor. Her parents weren't that good with money is the problem for her. We are. So her dad wasn't normally employed in a normal way. And so she struggled with money in her family very badly. They were extremely impoverished. And we're just sitting here, and I'm like, I think my Pokemon card's worth 100,000 now. And we're looking at, like, we're just eating, like, 50-cent ramen noodles on the couch playing video games. Like, what do we do about it? You know what I mean? Like, I guess we celebrate. Like, what do we do? I don't know. I'm not going to sell them. And then we're not going to buy anything. It's a weird feeling. It's a very, it's a surreal feeling. It feels good. It feels better than if you were broke. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. It's hard to describe. We're still laying at home eating the slop, right? Like, we're not eating caviar. We don't have a personal chef. There's no maid cleaning the house. We're just sitting there in our squalor going, what? Hey, honey, I think this Gold Star Gyarados sold for 100,000. She's like, no way. We just sit down and start playing video games. And it's just sort of this nonchalant thing when we should be more excited about it. But there's no way to be excited about it because ultimately it is just a piece of cardboard in our home. And you don't physically get anything from, well, you do get to look at it. But I mean, like, it doesn't rub your balls or cook your food for you or anything. Here it is. Ooh. What would life be like without Pokemon? I'd probably be healthier. I'd probably be healthier. I'd probably go outside more. Yeah. Good question. Here we are. All right. So you strike the Dawn card. Not bad. There's a Luffy. Monkey D. Luffy. Here's Shanks. Oh, look at that Shanks. This music is great. Here's Sabo. The winged guy. Nothing like a ball. Yeah, it doesn't do anything for you. You know, it doesn't take your dog for a walk. It doesn't fix your roof. It certainly doesn't get your paperwork done. You got to pay taxes on it. And it just sits there being valuable in theory. That's it. It's just like an idea. Like, oh, yeah, you got a valuable card now. It's like, God, I wonder how much we need to spend on security. You know, that's what you do with it. And then there's this feeling like, whoa, I just invested in one of the very best things to buy in all of society. I win the investor game. For now, assuming it doesn't all crash, right? Assuming we're in the euphoria. But let's say it doesn't crash. So what? Now what? I'm not like some impressive specimen. I'm not like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm just some, out of shape guy with a double chin opening Pokemon card packs all day. You know what I'm saying? It's a weird feeling. It's a weird feeling. Here we are. All right. Mr. Michael. Ooh. Ugh. Hey, babe. I'm a total Chad. TCC question and answer when? We're still waiting for more questions. You guys can fill the question and answer channel up in Discord, and I will answer all your questions in a video just like we just had a video. We don't do a lot of question and answer videos, so this is your one chance to ask me a question and have me answer it, okay? So that's in our Discord server right now. It's a question and answers channel. You just ask a question, and later I answer it in a video. All right, there we go. And this shall say 2.26. You're not out of shape. You're round. Yeah, I'm not out of shape. I'm just well built to survive famine. Did that feedback giveaway ever happen? Oh, let's do that before I forget about it because I saw that channel. All right, so how about... Ow. Okay, let's see. How about it? Let's pick out a nice card. I like that Pikachu right there. I'd say we do the Pikachu. He's a nice, solid card. All right, so for the guys who did the Pikachu, you can't go wrong with Pikachu. He's pretty liquid. Let's go over here to the feedback channel. January survey. All right, I'm going to go ahead to step number 1. I'm going to hide the survey channel. So now the channel is going to be hidden. We're going to say... You cannot see the messages. There we go. Excuse me. Depends on what you consider a crash. You were saying silver crashed and went down $5. We go ahead and close this. There was a silver crash. It went from like 90 to 70 or something like that. That's historically, that's a big crash for silver. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. It looks like we have 18 people in there. So that makes this easy. Are you ready? We'll simply use a die to decide who pulls it. And I'll go down the list, and your number is just when you guessed or when you wrote in your feedback. In other words, you kind of created a spot for yourself in the list. If you're the first guy who left a comment, then your spot is number 1. Okay. And let me see. Anything else? I guess probably... Oh, the Sandstorm break went off. We want to go ahead and make a breaks history for that. Let's go over to breaks history. Got to remember that. Okay. So we're going to say Sandstorm pack split went off in the beginning. And number 2, feedback survey from Discord went off at 57 minutes. Now, correction to crash, even at 68, as you say, was still up 100% in 2 weeks. Yeah, it's doing really well. Silver's clearly doing well. I'm not trying to hate on silver. I own some silver. So this is landing on number 19. I think I said there were only 18 spots. So I'm going to roll again. You ready? There it goes. So that is 3. All right, number 3. Let's go ahead and get into that channel and see who was number 3. So survey channel. Where is it? Oh, right, it's over here. So the very first person in the channel was Your Average Player, followed by Dan the Kool-Aid Man, and then number 3 was actually Brett. Hey! Brett Love was number 3. He is taking the giveaway for that survey. Thanks for your feedback, everybody. There was a real consequence for just helping out, giving me some ideas. Thank you for that, Brett Love. We can host another survey again later. It's going to say Brett Love survey prize. There we go. So he knows where it came from because he might be confused. All right, and now we can go back to the breaks channel and say Brett Love. There we go. Brett. Wait, has it actually been 58 minutes? How? How's it been 58 minutes? That's nuts. Dude, I feel like I barely get time to talk in here. 58 minutes is already, 1 hour is already done. That's crazy. So the new break, guys, is this beautiful pack split for Rocket for 39. But let me show off all the breaks you might be interested in taking a spot in. We've got the manga break for Miss Nami. This is the giveaway. Stay tuned for the giveaway. Here's the new trade break. Get rid of your junk cards for the trade break. You trade them in and you get a spot in there. The Psyduck is still running. The Mew is still running. And for the small break, the short break is Captain Pikachu, which has 2 out of 5 in it, okay? Additionally, there is the Mega Sublist for the Nidoking. We're on a fresh round, so it's at the very beginning, okay? And we have a box break with like 5 spots sold. This one right here, Astral Radiance. So, and then we have Donkey Kong as well. The Donkey Kong box break, which is 2 out of 10. So those are the breaks. We also have this pack break. We added another free booster pack into this. You missed that, but it was this guy right here. So that's got another free pack in it. And the binder break, which has Miss Alexandra in it. So lots and lots and lots of different ways to spend your money if you're looking to have a little fun, if you're looking to have a little action. There we go. The trade break's cool because you don't actually have to spend money. You can actually just take cards you don't want and try to get in there. So that's a cool one. But here is the aforementioned giveaway. Let's get that set up, shall we? When do the McDonald's cards hit? We don't know, but I'm very curious what they're going to end up being. I just want to see like 5 solid big name arrests to see the ball get rolling. Oh, are we talking about Epstein now? All right, let me go. Wait, I don't even see who you're responding to. Here, let me go to this. All right, very nice. Oh, yep, you're talking about Epstein. So we're going to click next, next. Javier, that's the keyword, Javier. If you place an order tonight, maybe I'll pop you in here, okay? Maybe it depends on what the order is. Big order, we'll put you in there. Now, here is the first time giveaway. If you're a watcher and you've never placed an order, we love to give free cards away to people who place a first time order. Let me try and pick a card out. How about this, Meryl? He's very cute. So Meryl will be the giveaway card for first time buyer. Mr. Berwar, he was a first-time buyer. So he placed his spot into Sandstorm and pulled a nice Dunsparce. And we had another first-time buyer. Who was it? It was it Jorge? I think his name might have been Jorge, but I cannot remember because he's brand new. It's tricky to remember names. Here it is. It's tricky to remember a lot of names. Welcome, guys. It's nice to see you all. We got a lot of great packs. You know what? I need to do the mail for today. I didn't actually do the mail. You know what I did today? I sat down and had stew with carrots. That's what I did. We sat down and relaxed for a minute between the streams. I also got a total of 5 videos completed, shorts, and a post to Instagram, which drew somebody's ire right away. This guy who's mad at me over like Dragonite or something. I don't know. Let's see. I want to see if he responded to that. I don't know why he's so salty. It's like this guy who's always got a bad attitude or something. Come on now. Load. It's like locked. You click on it, it doesn't open anything. Oh my god, dude. When technology doesn't work. Okay. Give me a second. We'll try it from the phone. Probably PokeRev's burner. No, he's not Poke. It's a different guy. So, okay, what did he say? Did he say something? Oh, he did. Let's see if he responded. Oh my god, dude. So this is the guy who's giving me some trouble right here, this meat guy. He says, probably thinks his copies are the same price as the last sold. New assert with the swirl, ... And I go, bro, you're so easy to trigger. And he's like, I read my message backwards, turned my phone upside down, then used phonics to sound the word. He's got so much to say. Still not sure how you came to the conclusion triggered. I'll just shrug it off and chalk it up as reading comprehension. Well, I know it because he was talking so much. He was talking so much trash in private message. That's how I know that's how he feels. It wasn't an accidental comment. That he was down talking the value of my Dragonites, because that's what he was doing before. He was saying, I wouldn't buy your no hollow Dragonite for $1,000. And I was like, all right. Here's Todd Peters, Sandstorm. Oh, we already did that one. All right, hold on, wait a second. Let's say refresh. We have Mr. Edgar Gonzalez, 3 spots in the Rocket Pack Break. I don't know, dude. Why do people behave that way? It's so mean, dude. I don't know. I probably said some uncouth things. I shouldn't judge. Shouldn't judge. If Bill Gates gets the rest of his life in prison, what happens to all the money? All the money wrapped up in the stocks and stuff. Ooh, that's a good question. Would Bill Gates get in trouble? I mean, technically, Bill Gates would only get in trouble if he did something illegal. You're allowed to have sex with hookers. Wait, are you? Wait a second. Is that allowed? Maybe that's not allowed. Is that legal to have sex with hookers? That's what he's accused of, right? But the big crime is if you had sex with someone who was underage. That's a very big crime. But I don't think he would go to jail for having sex with someone who's of legal age. So I think they would be tasked with proving he did that. There it is. But then again, he was talking about, there was an email that suggested he wanted to slip his wife antibiotics. But I couldn't tell if the email suggested he was intending to do that without her consent or not. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know if Bill Gates can get in trouble. Do you guys think he can get in trouble? I definitely see him differently. Here it is. All right, so there we go. The marker is out of ink. I thought the main case was underage girls. Yeah, so that's the hard part. I think you have to prove that he was with underage girls. It's not a crime to be with, let's say, a 21-year-old girl. So if he was with 21-year-old girls, it's gross, but it's not illegal. So I think you have to prove it's illegal. But the other thing, trying to slip his wife drugs without her consent, that could maybe be very illegal. I don't know. All right, let me go get a fresh marker. Saying these words is going to get the stream banned or something. I know, I feel the same way. I feel like if we talk about stuff like this, YouTube's going to like shadow ban me. How many times do you think I've been shadow banned by YouTube for being too adult? It's got to have happened. It's got to have happened. I'm sure it's happened. All right, I've got my secondary marker. We are all good. The rocket break has begun. Haha. My story channel got shadow banned after I made a parody of Bill Gates. Really? Man. Yeah, I mean, I could see that happening. I don't think it's always even just because, I don't think they're like trying to control any kind of narrative. I think they just want to protect their platform for advertisers. That's all. All right. Just call him he who must not be named. The he who must not be named island. Oh, man, dude. All right. Wow. Thank you very much for that. That was a big order from Mr. Edgar Gonzalez. I'm going to put you over here on this Chansey, okay? You're going to get spot number 16. Did you guys see this card? It's been donated by Javier. Look at that. Ooh, beautiful. It's actually really nice. That's why these classic cards have been selling so well. I'll stop talking about it. Just crazy, no arrests. Well, is it crazy? I mean, maybe it's very hard to arrest somebody off of an email sent by Jeffrey Epstein, who is known to have probably been a blackmailer. That was probably how he was making his money. He was probably a blackmailer. So some guys probably will get in trouble when they're done working on it, but I don't think they can get everybody just because you have to have solid evidence that somebody did something wrong, something that's illegal, which is not the same as something that's maybe gross or with poor taste. Here it is, Team Rocket Grunt, TRG. Honestly, I think that the FBI and the United States government probably took all this material and said, cha-ching, we can blackmail. All right, let's make this binder break friggity fat. Fat like Bill Gates's hooker's ass or something. I don't know. Welcome, children, to the Cardconomist stream. Settle in. Let's see. Hey, guys, it's Pokemon cards. Wholesome Pokemon cards. All right, how about this looks like first edition MetaZoo. So that could be, I don't know if that is, but that could be the first edition. I don't know what it is. So we'll say. So here's Indrid Cold. I don't know what it is. I don't want to claim it's anything because I don't know what it is. What is this over here? Probable cause is very important to build a case against someone law. Here we are. Okay. What do we put in here? Here's some girly cards. Whoa, you guys want some girly cards? Here is, I don't know. I'll just put this guy in here, put this guy in here. Honestly, he could go in a junk pack. I'll put this guy here, or this girl. He could go in a junk pack. He's junk packable. I've got sexy girl cards, but I never know if they actually incentivize people to buy into the binder break. I don't think they do. So we need to add something that has some kind of value. These are kind of nice. So these are from Dragon Discovery, High Dragon and Roaring Moon. Now that's nice. Ooh, here's a Rayquaza as well. So that's nice. We like that. And, ooh, and here's a Charizard. Okay, that's nice. All right. Let's see, what else we got? Maybe a vintage Nidoran. Okay. I guess that's enough for now. So the binder break already has some pretty solid cards in it, and this just makes it a little bit hotter. It incentivizes me to do something else. OG MetaZoo was so good. I know. Well, it feels kind of like the new MetaZoo. It just feels very different. It almost feels kind of corporate, doesn't it? Feels a little corporate. The other one had a little, I don't know, it had a little hand-drawn style to it. It's hard to describe. Felt more intimate in a certain way. Whereas the other one looks like it was made by some kind of 3D art studio. Guess if an artist's work is really bad, you might call it a stool. Let's see. All right, couple more cards in there, guys. Oh yes, just a little fatter. How's it going, guys? Happy Wednesday. We're getting closer to Friday. All right, let's say refresh over here. Here's an order from Miss Sarah Dusenberry. Hey, Sarah. 1 spot in the NAMI, 1 spot in the pack break. You got it. All right. So that is the next order. Break spots are selling. Okay. Too many secrets, too many lies. The government is definitely not for the people right now. Yeah, well, I think people want to read the unredacted version of those documents to see who to be mad at. Because when you read them, they got a lot of names in there that don't look like they're just victims' names. They look like they're most likely somebody who's guilty of something in there. But I don't know. I wish they would unredact it all. And people just won't be satisfied on it ever. Like, let's say they did 1,000% unredact the entire thing. And I don't think the victims would like that. They'd probably sue. But let's say they did. Will people even believe at that point that all of the files have been released? I feel like people just won't believe it. So they'll say, they're still holding stuff back. All right, let's grab this. All right, the pack split. I don't think there's going to be a point where anyone ever believes anything. It's like, it's the conspiracy theory jackpot, you know? Like, people don't even believe he's dead. They're like, nah, he's alive. We are. All right. Tossing that up there. And the other item is for Nami. So another spot in the manga break. Obama likes his little boys, it says. You're saying one of the files said that? There it goes. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Okay, this is going to be number 5. I said this in Discord. I said anything associated with that guy's name turns into nuclear waste. It's the most toxic thing on the planet right now, you know? Okay, so that's for Sarah. Thank you so much, Sarah. Here's Sarah. I'll get you in here, too. So number 18 shall be 7 to Abby. Okay, that was kind of a bigger order, right? And now we've got, hit refresh. The victims want justice. They're getting none. Maxwell will get pardoned. She's scary too, because she can lie. She can say anything she wants and people they'll doubt it and they'll believe it at the same time. So she's got an unbelievable power and she's going to use it to try and get out of jail, right? Maybe she knows some dark truth about Donald Trump that has not been revealed. Or maybe there is no dark truth, but she can lie and claim that it happened. And what is he going to do about it? The damage is done. It's over. So she's like, yeah, you're going to let me out. She's going to say, I'm going to only say nice things about you if you let me out or put me in a place I want to be. All right, going into the rocket split. The rocket split filling up awfully fast this time. So we're at 4 and 5. And that's 5 spots on the rocket split, everybody. Every single aspect of life, the government is in it and screwing it up and violating the people of the country. Yeah, you might call that like corruption or something. Yeah, I think a lot of Americans are very unhappy with the way that the government's ran. Ooh, all right. Bring out all the blackmail and everything and let the craziness begin. That's right. That's right. Let the craziness begin. Do not fear the darkness, friend, and let the feast begin. Who remembers that from Dark Souls Ring City? Here's Weavile. Oh, yeah, Weavile looking hot. Here's Avery Johnson looking hot. Here's Tyranitar Stamp looking hot. And here's One to the Dome. This is freshly priced. Filling very fast. Yes. There we go. Sometimes people know what they want. They just go get it. let's go ahead and take a picture of these. These are freshly priced slabs going into the Z box. So I'm heading over to the All Slabs channel. All right. I think I can get rid of the All Slabs channel number 2 now. So let me see this real fast. Yes, okay. So this is W, this is M, this is S, this is T, and this is O. T, S, W. And then the M and the O go in the M box. It's called alphabetical order. I'm going to go into our Discord server now. We have a channel called All Slabs 2, and I'm prepared to delete that now. That channel is unnecessary now. Okay, good. All right. I sent for the rocket split, says Mr. Jaded. What? You can't do that. Mr. Jaded. He sent for the rocket split. Here we go. Heisenberg. There we go. Yeah, it's a pretty crazy world out there, man, if you think about it, because, you know, he's been caught, right? But does that really make you feel like these sort of bad activities are not being done by billionaires in other places? Here's 3, here's 3. So I think people are looking at the ruling class, and they're looking at the wealthy, and they're going, ew, that's 6. That might have also been why the Democrats decided not to reveal the files too quickly when they initially had them. Because it's so sweeping, it hurts, you know, the peasant class like me and you with the pitchforks and the good stuff like the torches, the peasant revolution. We see that kind of stuff going on, and we just get really tired of the people ruling us, which we already didn't like them that much. And so they probably don't want to rush to sort of drum up a bunch of, you know, anti-wealthy people, anti-politician sentiment. But again, also maybe our government just looked at it as, ooh, we just acquired a bunch of valuable blackmail content. You know what I mean? So that's also another theory, is that the government looked at it like, wait a second, this is more useful to us if we get to use it. You know, kind of like acquiring somebody's wealth. The government's acquired something powerful and valuable. So I bet you that there's something like that going on where they're like, hey, maybe we can just blackmail the UK and say, we know what Prince Andrew did. How would you like Prince Andrew to stay out of the spotlight? We can make that happen. You just have to sign this trade agreement, you know? So the government's maybe incentivized to just keep that information and use it on people. And we'll have to see. Here's a big order. Tyler Davis, he says 10 Mega Evolution, 2 Ascended Heroes. Ooh, that's a big order. All right, so 2 of those and 10 of these. Not as big as Shahir's order yesterday, huh? Shahir, he's the hero right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That gentleman went very deep. I just wish that it had ended in a God Pack or an Umbreon. All right. They have all been doing this since ancient times. All this is nothing new. Exactly. Like, who hasn't read the history book of, like, the rich baron who drank kids' blood or something, you know, like tortured people for fun? You know what I mean? We all read that. We've read that stuff. Rich people, powerful people, kings and kings' courts are full of absolute screwballs, because once somebody has, like, full immunity from persecution or prosecution, full immunity from consequences from their actions, they start behaving really weird. They start doing all kinds of crazy stuff. It's kind of like being drunk with power, you know? So you see that throughout history. You read in the books about this guy who returned from the war, and his favorite thing to do was kill children. And then the village found out and put him to death or something like that. You know what I mean? So you see this all the time in history, that it would be some twisted ass guy who's like successful for some reason. And I think I read somewhere that people who are kind of crazy tend to be more successful. And I truly believe that's probably accurate. Like, I ask myself sometimes why I work so hard. And I know right away it's because I had a crazy childhood. So, so there's other people who do actual bad things. And you're like, what's wrong with you? And it's like, well, they're successful because they're crazy, bro. And Maybe not always nice crazy. Here's rare candy. Whoa! I'd feel like a hero if literally anything popped out. You did get the golden Pikachu. You got a golden Pikachu. That's pretty hard to pull. I mean, the golden cards don't show up all the time. And in particular, the Pikachu is not in every... Like, even if you did pull a golden card, like, there's plenty of other golden cards. So you did get him. Then you got, like, 1 or 2 decent Master Balls. Like, wasn't there a Sylveon Master Ball? Or no, I'm thinking of Brett Love's Sylveon. Here we are. All right, we've got Golden Go, Dialga. We'll keep you on our thoughts and memories, Mr. Shahir. Here's why I liked how everyone was pitching in to get you bonus packs because they really wanted to see you win. Here's Lunatone Houndstone. You know the people in here are that nice that they'll be like, give this man a free pack. That's pretty cool, huh? Here's Centiskorch Sizzleipede Lunatone. Here's... You just never know when something crazy is going to strike. Like when Sarah Dewsbury eventually pulled a Prismatic God pack. No one was expecting it. It was so random. And it just, you know, it's just how it is. It's just like one day somebody pulls the thing. Whether it be a manga rare, whether it be like the top Pokemon pull, or maybe like an error pack occurs. All right, there we go. So those are your 10 packs of Mega Evolution. You pull Rare Candy, you pull Houndstone. I'm hungry, says PDX. You could come over here and have some beef stew. I made a huge beef stew. There were like 6 potatoes, a stalk of celery, like a whole head of it. There was like 6 carrots, and then like, it felt like 4 pounds of beef, just big, chunky, meaty beef. And that roasted in our pressure cooker for 45 minutes. It was so good. We're still eating it. We've been eating nothing but roast beef stew like for the whole day. Fun rotam. Here's... We used to eat that way when we were kids. That was a very popular dish when we were young. Cheap cut of beef turned into a big vegetable soup with the beef being the flavor. Ooh, good stuff. This guy Shahir definitely giving us great content. Thanks, man. Exactly, man. Thank you very much. Tyler Davis giving us some great content, too, but this time not to a big hit. Mega Kangaskhan and Enzorark, Houndstone, Camerupt, and Rare Candy. Damn, it's hard to pull. It's hard to pull a good card. It really is. It's so hard to pull a good card out of these packs, man. All right, give me a second here. Ugh. Crazy. Is anyone defending Minnesota Democrats? Let me jump over here. I don't know. Are they? All right. Resetting that music. I could listen to this music all day. It's very nostalgic. So here's your bag. All right. Grabbing all these. Get these saltines away from me. You know what's really yummy? Saltines with anchovies. Have you ever done that? Nothing but anchovies. You put 1 anchovy on 1 saltine cracker. It's like a salt bomb, but it's like delicious in a certain hard to describe way. Sardines and saltines, anchovies and saltines. Not as good as sardines and rice, though. Sardines and rice is better. All right, you've definitely got plenty of hollows. You can trade these if you need to. Tyler Davis. So we're going to create bag number 3 for you. Saltines and chili or beef stew. Nah, pass on that. That just feels like you're eating flour to eat flour. All right. Saltines with sardines. There we go. Master literally naming the worst foods. Well, you know, we had the oyster crackers, and we would put that into, like, chicken and rice soup sometimes. That was kind of nice. Now what they're What about oysters? So oysters raw on the half shell. I ate those last year for Karis's birthday, and they were so bad. They were particularly large oysters, so you couldn't just like slurp them down in one go. You had to actually chew them up in order to eat them because they were too large. So really big oysters. You'd think that's a good deal because you're getting so much, but it actually made them really nasty. If you're going to do raw oysters on a half shell, it has to be a small oyster so that you just kind of gulp it down and you get a taste of that oyster, but you're not like, rolling it around on your tongue or something like a lollipop. You got to get rid of that thing because it's pretty much like eating a booger. All right, Tyler Davis, let's get you on that Javier giveaway. We have a room for one more person. Okay. Oysters are disgusting. Well, I was going to say this. You can also cook oysters, and it's a totally different experience when you cook them. So when you cook oysters, they're pretty pleasant. They're pretty much like clams and mussels at that point. Not quite the same, but they're pretty much the same. So, yeah, they're fine. If you just cook them, they're fine. You also can't get sick if you cook them. I don't think you can. Sarah Doozaberry, she says, Rocket Pack Split, please. Forgot to add that to the last order. Yes, ma'am. All right. Wait, what did you do in the last order? Let me double check this. Your last order was Nami and Spot in the pack break. Spot in the pack break. Okay, hold on. I'm confused. You did send for the pack break in the last round. Did you mean to send for something else, Miss Sarah? You want to clarify that? I don't know if you're watching, but it looks like you're going to have 2 spots in here because you did already send for it. Is that what you wanted? Or did you mean to send for something else? Let me know so I can correct it, okay? All right, here you are. I can do smoked oysters once in a blue moon, but not raw. Yeah, smoked oysters have had so much flavor injected into them. They're like not even real oysters at that point. You know, it's like beef jerky doesn't really taste like beef. There we go. When your kiddo is born, do you have a certain investment you plan to make for them? Like let's see, like something in the first week or something you're going to do. This is an important month for Karis and I. Karis found out at the end of last year that she couldn't get pregnant like a natural way. She has something called, what's the name of it? Oh, I don't remember the name of it. But so she has an issue where she has to have IVF to have kids. So we're doing IVF now, and it's been a really interesting experience, by the way. And this month is a big month because near the end of it, she is going to, they're going to transfer an embryo into her. Like robot pregnancy. And it's really a very fascinating thing that humans can do this. I swear, humans are so close to not even getting pregnant. Like the next step in technology for this is artificial womb. And then you can just pay a machine to have a baby for you after you've, jerked it into a cup or something. How insane would that be, guys? So anyways, she's gone through a very long process to reach this point, and we're on the second half of the IVF now, and it's not a guarantee we have kids. It could fail. So that's where we're at. We don't know if it'll succeed. So we're crossing our fingers, guys. We're going to take a shot at it, and hopefully it goes well. Hopefully she has a healthy pregnancy, but she might not. You don't know. She might have a heart issue, that is one of our concerns, or just some other issue. So we'll find out. And there you go. Now you know a little bit about our personal lives. 1 spot for the pack split, and 1 was for the jumbo pack break. Okay, you got it. You got it. All right. 1 spot in the jumbo pack break. We need 2 more spots in there. So when we have a healthy baby, then I'll say we've got a baby. But right now it's just a theory, and we have no children currently. We are without children. There we go. All right. Hope we have babies. It's baby. I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old, bro. Yeah, we started trying for kids like 2 years ago, I want to say, and it just wasn't happening, and we couldn't figure out what was wrong. And we thought maybe it was just like timing or luck or something like that. And we went to a fertility clinic, and they're like, "Ooh, you've got a problem." And so it's a common problem actually in girls, in fact, but she had it pretty bad. And so it's really interesting, all this stuff, It's interesting to think that kind of like glasses, there was a time period before any of this technology existed. And so if you had this problem, you just didn't have kids. You just didn't have them. And now this technology exists. And so it can happen. Yeah, now you can try to have for kids. Alexis can move in with you and help with the babies. I don't think she would do that. But, we would be open-minded to hiring somebody to help us with babies. So it's sort of like maybe like a maid or something like that. But she's got her own life. She's got her own kids. She'd be a nice friend who could maybe if our kids were older, they could hang out or something. Time to move me and rise me, mister. I can be a baby teen and an old man just for you. What? A baby teen and an old man. You probably only stream once a day. Oh, I don't know about that. Maybe when the baby is born, if a baby is born, something like that will happen. You'll see me take a break, or you'll see me streaming far less. But I will want to just continue this schedule a lot. And I think we're both working. I think we could probably hire somebody to help us out, you know, because her parents don't live out here. You know what I mean? Her parents don't live out here, so they can't help. She doesn't really have any siblings who can help. I don't have any siblings that can help. So, you know, we do see it that way. We see it as when we have a baby, we're going to try and hire a maid to help out. Having a kid's the best thing ever, but lots of work. Yeah, well, I came from a family of 11 kids. All right, guys, the queue is empty. There's nobody in the queue. Let's talk about what's going on. We got 2 spots left in the jumbo pack break. It's got a couple of free packs in it. There's 3 free packs in it. It's officially worth more than 160. This was a free pack. This was a free pack. What's the third free pack? It was like a blue pack like this right here. So we got a couple free packs in there. And so you got the regular value on it and then all these as well. And tomorrow, if it doesn't sell by tomorrow, it'll be 4 free packs, right? So it just keeps building up. That is the jumbo pack break, 1 in 4 odds to take all these booster packs. Of course, if you miss, you just get a common Pokemon card, so it's pretty brutal. Same over here with the binder break. You guys are aware that 1 person's in there. We need 3 more in there. We'll keep adding to that. Let's go ahead and grab a nice stack of fresh slabs to show off, because you might be interested in taking a slab home. When the time comes, I think she'll want to do and be a part of all of it. You know, Karis, after she gets her maternity leave and all that stuff, she might be interested in working less herself. She's been working very hard for how many years? For 8 years. She's been working very hard for 8 years and no children. And, you know, she's got that on her mind, you know, like, hey, it might be baby time. It might be time not to work as much. We are. You get old fast, man. Life's just flying by. I feel like I was in college like yesterday. Umbreon's correct at $40. Yeah, that's correct. Now, Eradicate, he's 40. He's probably correct, too. Mr. Trade, some of my cards for that trade-in break. The Iona, right? Well, hold on. Let me do this real fast. All right. So we're going to say Eradicate. PSA 10, Classic, Japanese, Raticate. I just worked 2 jobs so she can be a mom. Nice, dude. That's hardcore. That's really hard to do. I did that a long time. I worked 2 jobs a long time. Classic Japanese Raticate. Oh, this is under... Hold on. Wrong category. So there it goes. So there is one for sale for $71. Let me check sold. No information on last sold. So there's no information on last sold, and there's one for sale for 70. I'm probably just going to leave this at 40 bucks. I'm not going to copy that $70 price. Ours is literally half the price of the one on the market. There we go. Sent a duplicate. I hope everything works out for you and Karis. Congrats on taking the steps you want to make that happen. I know I'll eventually be ready to die when we have a kid. I feel like as long as I don't have a kid, I'm not allowed to get any serious health problems. And then when the kid's born, I'll be like, all right, I can die now. You know what I mean? Because I'm feeling it, dude. I can't believe I'm heading toward 40. And some of you guys are also close to 40 with me. But I'm feeling it. I'm feeling like mortal, you know? The older I get, the more like, uh-oh, my elbow's sounding kind of funny. Is this the end of me? Yeah, heart attack. You know what I mean? So I'm feeling that age. It's starting to seep in. Here's Mr. Tyler Davis with another big order. 10 Mega Evolution, 2 Ascended Heroes. We got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 here. 8, 9, 10. So there we go. We got 10 of those. I hope for twin girls. Yep, I do. Twin girls. Well, Karis isn't really sure if she prefers a boy or a girl. And I think I kind of prefer a boy, like all guys do. You know, like you want a boy rather than a girl. It's pretty straightforward. You know, like you can do guy things, and the boy carries on your family name or something like that. So I don't even know how important that is these days. It's not really that important. But so I have a preference for at least one boy, and then she can have a girl. But she's not sure if she prefers a girl or a boy. We are. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She might prefer a girl. 2 Ascended Heroes. Twins are awesome. 2 for 1 special. Yeah, so there's a chance for that with the IVF process. There's a chance for twins. It doesn't happen every time, but it's better than average chance for that. But my concern also is that if that happens, will her body be able to handle that? There we go. How about twins? That would be amazing. Get that gold card. The gold card. Throw this away. Okay, so this one is yours. And then this one is yours. Good. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Love this music. All right, get back-to-back kids might be crazy for a bit, but worth it. Yeah, well, that was my whole lifestyle when I was a kid. We live in an interesting time period where people really don't like kids. It's really fascinating, and where does it lead? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Society really, 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 really does not like kids or being parents right now. And I don't know, what do you guys think happened? Why do you think that happened? There's all kinds of theories to it, but what do you think caused that? Here goes Tyler Davis. All right. People don't aspire to it at all. There we go. People are almost very bitter about it, too. I don't understand the bitterness. Let's snip this. Like, nobody's attacking you. Let's snip this. It's not that they don't like kids. They're afraid of child support. Let's snip this. And let's snip this. Money just costs too much. Yeah. All right, cool, man. Well, I don't understand that because people will say a kid costs too much and then they'll have like 2 dogs and 2 cats. It's like, bro, like that's kind of expensive too if you add it all up. If you do the math, if you do the quick math, here goes. They'll have no kids, but then they'll have 2 dogs, 2 cats, a bird, hamsters. They have chickens because they're deep down, they're lonely, and they're trying to figure that out. Here's Lilio. Look at that, Lilio. The cost of living has gone up without insurance. Childbirth is in the tens of thousands. Yeah, my family was pretty crazy. All of us were home births. I was the last baby born in a hospital, and it was a military hospital because my dad was in the Navy. So they got military hospital service. And then from my younger brother on down, everyone was a home birth. No insurance, no doctors. That's how they did it. They just had a ton of home births. And that's almost hard to imagine. But it's like, that's how everybody did it forever. There was one baby that had a complication. It was Brianna. And when they were having the complication, they just rushed her to the hospital. It was fine. So, and I don't remember what it was. It was just like a difficult birth. Here's Megaladios. Ooh. Rip and Flip says, what? Yeah. Yes, so like every other year, that's how often you have to get pregnant to have 11 kids. Every other year, my mom would be in our home, screaming in pain, giving birth in our home. They do it in the master bedroom. They had like a system for it. There was like a tarp. There were scissors. There was a big trash bag. Oh! Woo! All right, look at that. Mr. Tyler pulling such a great card. You know this is going to be popular over time. It's such a great looking card. Kind of reminds me of the Dark Marowak from Team Rocket Returns. Doesn't it kind of look like that? There we go. So wait, is there a midwife? My dad, he was the midwife. He was Dr. Dad. He was the one who was delivering the baby with her. And yeah, it was just kind of crazy. And as crazy as that sounds, my oldest sister went on to do that too. She went on to have babies at home. And yeah, I actually remember this because I went to her house and helped clean up afterwards, which was kind of my job back when we were kids too. We are. What? You need at least 3 TCC. That's right. All right. Endometriosis. That's right. Endometriosis. It's called stage 3 endometriosis, and it only goes to stage 4. All right, we'll put this over here. She had a surgery for it, which is supposed to make her capable of having kids now. So she had a surgery last year. It was like a major surgery. It took like 8 hours. We are. All right. That's why he came out so smart. I don't know about all that. We are. Put this over here. Well, again, I wasn't born at home. I was the last baby born in a hospital. My dad was still receiving, I guess, like the ability to go to the Navy hospital for that. Ooh, very nice. Mega Absol is a big pull, man. Congratulations, Tyler Davis. Let's go find your bag. Let's see. Ugh. Ooh, that's a heavy box. Wait, so how do you notify that you have kids? Like head down to City Hall? So after the baby is born, what happens is you pack the brand new baby up into a baby car seat, brand new, brand spanking new, just born, and you actually drive to the hospital and then you sign a piece of paperwork to name the baby. That's how it works. So they will drive off to the hospital after the birth, and mom's all tired, and she signs a paperwork saying, yep, it's mine, and here's the name of the baby. And then they drive home, and she recovers at home. And then you and I get to see the baby like instantly, like the moment it's born, because it's already home. Here it is. Why did your parents decide on 11 kids? They were Catholic, really strict Catholic. So when the Catholic Pope said no birth control, they really didn't use any birth control. And I think my dad liked having a lot of kids. Maybe it's part of being Filipino, I don't know. Filipinos have a lot of kids. This is the craziest thing I've heard today. I know, it's crazy, bro. You'd think they would have slowed down after like 7 or 8 or something. They just kept going. Matthew Rodriguez says, 1 box of Nikkei Nivel BT03. Oh, the BT03s. Now, those are the Korean ones. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, those are the Korean ones. All right, so I got to go grab it. I'll be right back. Yeah, I was involved with, I was one of the oldest children, so I had to help. All right, but you know, as crazy as that sounds, that's how everyone was born for most of human existence. Most people were born that way. Here we are. All right. It was only recently that we developed a system where you have to pay $10,000 to go to a doctor to be born. Here we go. Or whatever it is now. That's new. We made that up. All right, Matthew Rodriguez, let's get it, bro. Wait, you're part Filipino. I'm Filipino, baby. There we go. I'm quarter Filipino. I don't always think about that very hard, but I guess my mom was a white lady who married a Filipino guy. It's so weird when I think about it now, because my dad looked very Filipino. Here it is. You ready? All right, let's start sneeping. All right. Did your parents vaccinate you? No, I've never been vaccinated. I've had no vaccinations at all. I was homeschooled, remember? So part of the reason for the homeschooling is they didn't want vaccinations. My mom was like kind of a health nut. She was kind of crazy. I'm telling you, she had an obsessive personality. She really did. She obsessed over ideas. Manopo, Mr. What? That's it, Mr. Mr.'s a mudblood. No! Voldemort would hate to see me coming. Get this guy out of here. All right. I don't look like it, though. I got more of my mom's genes, I think, or at least from the outward appearance perspective. But I have siblings that look like they're right off the Philippine Islands. I have a brother named Luke. You'd be like, oh, look, a Filipino guy. And then I'm over here and I look white like my mom. So that's how it works. I'm glad you didn't get polio or measles. Yeah, I didn't get any of those. I didn't get the COVID vaccine either. I had that option as an adult, and I was like, I made it this far. I'm pretty sure I'd already had COVID, because Kirsa's parents had COVID, and then she came home, and then I had a whole coughing spell for like a week, and that had to have been COVID. So she got me sick from her parents, and they had COVID confirmed. So after that, I said, well, I don't really care about getting the vaccine because I've already got immunity. All right, what we got here? We got, whoa, the Boobies girl. If you come across a random Charmander card, I'll give you a couple bucks for it or something and grade it. Nice. No vaccines. RFK would be proud. Yeah. Well, a lot of the homeschoolers were doing that. So I told you I was talking about this in the daytime stream. I was part of the Homeschoolers Association of St. Louis, and an awful lot of them are part of that association just because they did not want to have their kids vaccinated. So you run into a lot of that. Whoa, look at the booty cheeks on her. Holy. Yeah, there's a lot of that. This is BTO3 Nikkei, different from Weiss Nikkei if you're looking for some Nikkei cards to open. There we go. The homeschooling is very fascinating because Some people think homeschoolers are just sort of like shut-ins, but there's a couple different groups of homeschoolers that you could separate them into a Venn diagram. You got homeschoolers where the parents did not want vaccines. And then you got parents where their child is kind of slow, not very good socially, autism, that kind of stuff. And their child was getting bullied really bad in public school. So they pull that child out because they struggle. But then there's the third group, and that group is they have like this brilliant scientist child, and the child is so smart, they will just teach themselves anything. And they say, you can homeschool. So those are the three homeschool groups. That's why you get the, oh, these homeschoolers, they're like smart stereotype, but actually it's just some of them are. Some of them are really smart kids, like crazy smart. Like the president of the computer science club at my university, before I took over as president, he was homeschooled. And you could almost tell because he was just such a nice person. And then I took over and I was homeschooled. So the whole group was led for like 4 years by two homeschoolers. And I don't know. Our group definitely fell into the no vaccines category. So my parents wanted us to be super Catholic. She wanted us to not sort of like mingle with non-Catholics, non-Christians. And she didn't want us to be exposed to adult content, which ironically, that's all I handle now. But she didn't want us to run into, you know, like drugs or the hip cool culture. I'm a rebel. I'm a hippie. She didn't want any of that stuff. And she didn't want to vaccine us because she thought vaccines had like mercury or something in them because of some books or something that she read. Ooh, so that was why. And so she was kind of a health freak. She was a health nut back then. Of course, I'm not super healthy today. It's so funny. She cared about things so much and she tried so hard to sort of push those onto us. And it just sort of made us all want to rebel against some of those ideas. It's Naga. I think her name's Naga. Why do I know this? Have you seen the skit in Movie 43 where the parents want to fill every role in the kid's homeschool life like bullying and romance? I don't think I've seen that, but I know I've seen some funny homeschool skits. You can make fun of homeschoolers pretty fast. Mister is an ultimate Frisbee beast. I was real good at it. Here we are. But there was a sample size of only like, I don't remember how many children were there. There was a sample size of probably not as many as like high school. But yeah, I was athletic when I was younger. I was not in the unpopular group. I was in the popular group. So there was like a group of popular boys and I was one of them. And so, you know, a lot of the stories in Hollywood is about being in the out group and the bullies are in the in group. And I never relate to that because it just wasn't that way for me. So I watched that. I go, oh, Jesus, dude. And they only portray the popular group as kids as bad people. They never portray them as likable, smart, attentive, socially skilled, you know, successful. They're only portrayed as like these sniveling, arrogant jerks who are like trying to put down the hero or the protagonist of the story. It's like, bro, it's just not the way it is in real life. It's not this strict, you know, archetype where it's just like this evil group of bullies want to hold you down. Yeah, my dad has like a nice luxury vehicle. I'm going to inherit $1 million. Ooh, look at that. Come on, mister, you were a nerd. I was a little bit nerdy. I'm still nerdy. It's still that way. We are. Let's see. Ooh, very nice. But in the Homeschool Association, you're looked at as a good person if that's true about you, by the way. So I don't know how that is in public school, but if you're really smart in the homeschool group, everyone looks up to you. So you're actually, that's a winning trait. They're like, dang, this guy's smart. And so that makes you popular. Ooh. Goonworthy, but she's not my favorite. What? What did I just read? Mister went to the other houses and bullied those homeschool kids. There was the homeschool group. I remember it very fondly as a place where I would trust to leave my kids at. It was so wholesome. It was shockingly wholesome. The boys weren't allowed to commingle with the girls. They were like kept separated. You weren't allowed to date. You weren't allowed to kiss. There was no drugs at all. No one did drugs. And if you even dared talk about this stuff, people would basically blush and be like, bro, you can't talk about that. So you could not even talk about, you know, sexual relations or a woman's unmentionables, right? So it was so wholesome. It was like Amish almost. And everyone expected it to be that way because people who homeschool their kids, they don't like that stuff. They really don't want their kids around that stuff. and they want their kids to be innocent and just enjoy innocence. And I don't regret not getting to go to public school in hindsight. I did very well in life. I did extremely well in college, and I got married, and I bought a home, and I got a good job. So I don't look at it like, oh man, I wish I had just gone to public school, because I don't think I missed out on that much. And I had special memories with the homeschoolers, and they were all really nice people. Ooh. All right, here's this. And last but not least, yeah, these cards would be, it would have been insanely shocking to show these cards to the homeschoolers, because the girls are like in bikinis and stuff, and they have like boobs. We were an innocent group of kids. And I don't know, nowadays I don't think people value that. And I grew up in it, and I do value it. I value it even though I've been on both sides. So if I had a kid and they had to live kind of like Amish a little bit, that's not a downside. It's not a terrible thing. Ooh. Ooh. Like, you get old enough and then you got to move on, right? You get older and you got to be a little less innocent, right? Like, babies got to get made, right? But when you're just young, when you're young, even in those high school years, it's nice to have sort of a sense that nobody's messing with the girls. There's no pressure to perform. Like, you don't have to go out there and boink a bunch of girls so that the other guys respect you. There's nothing like that. You just get to be smart and work hard on your education, on your study, and make friends because you have things in common, but not because you're doing anything nefarious or playing some sort of like social game of putting people down. So everyone in the group was very supportive. They're very gentle and kind and very Christian, I suppose. It was awesome. I can't say anything negative about it. It is. All right, so there it is, Matthew Rodriguez. All right, Matthew. Yeah, one of the nicest groups of people you ever meet. Let's see. Do you believe in One Piece? I do. It's out there, I swear. Somebody told me it was, and I believed them. All right, let's put this over here. Monkey D. Luffy. So, Matthew Rodriguez, you got a lot of cards in your bag. Did you know that? Actually, I think we can fit this round in. Can we fit this round in? Weren't you curious to try drugs? I'm 37 and I'm still not curious. I have no interest in it. The way I see drugs are meant to sort of like cheat your dopamine receptors. So they sort of trigger the dopamine receptors for you, and they impair you as well, which I guess makes you dumber. And I just have no interest in that. There's no interest at all. I did try weed, though. I'm a curious person. And I thought it was just like so mid. I was not excited by the feeling of it. And yeah, all these years I had not touched it because of the law, because I just follow the law. So I don't have any crimes or anything to be in trouble for. And nice, clean record. So I finally try it. And it's just like, I think alcohol is probably better. You know what I mean? It's very interesting. Which also brings up the question why people were being thrown in jail over marijuana, because that's a bit harsh for marijuana. But, you know, you got like fentanyl problems in America killing like 100,000 people. It's pretty extreme. But yeah, I have no curiosity for drugs at all. And I'm glad that I didn't do them. And I'd hope my children stay completely. How about that one guy who just got killed by his drug-addicted kid? What's that guy's name? The Hollywood movie director. He just got... What was his name? It's not Snyder. I can't remember his name. He just got murdered by his drug-addicted son. Isn't that insane? Drugs change you, man. They can permanently change you in a bad way. But it's the hard ones, you know. You got to stay away from that stuff. I don't think alcohol is going to do that to you. But alcohol is not exactly good for you either. It destroys your liver. And they're saying it's bad for your body in general. Tyler Davis, one more time. 10 and 2. You got it, man. Let's get it. All right, Tyler, so you're going to activate my trap card. I have to go get more Mega Evolution. John Pork? No, who was the guy who just got killed by his son? He was famous. He got stabbed to death in his sleep by his drug-addicted son. How crazy is that? All right, there we go. Rob Schneider. I was close. I said Snyder. There we go. So people do value drug culture. They think it's fun, it's laid back, it's social. it's, you know, there's dopamine involved. There's maybe people like being addicted even, you know, maybe people like degeneracy for its own sake, for a bit of fun. But I got to tell you, at the end of the day, having no drama in your life, things are just the way they're meant to be. It's pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Just having things be the way they should be, you know, there's something to be said about it. That's pretty addicting too. So Ascended Heroes. Ooh. Oh, we got a second pack. Haha. Mister, he's saying no. You already opened that. I only ordered that 2 times. What? You don't want this free round? I was going to give you the whole round free. You don't want all these free... All right, well, I'll put them away. Thanks, Mr. Tyler. I was getting pretty close there to opening those. You know, it does that sometimes. I don't know why it does that. Okay, next up we have Morgan John. Hey, what's up, Morgan John? 1 Waifu Shuffle. Ooh. All this time, I thought you wanted some free ones. Don't put the cards in the bag. Stop the count. Reiner? Oh, Rob Reiner. It was Rob Reiner. The other guy led me astray. Rob Reiner was stabbed to death by his own son. There we go. His own son, if you look the guy in the eyes, you could tell he's got that drug brain where he's gone. He's toast, dude. The drugs toasted his brain, and you can tell he's not there. And I know that look because I have a brother-in-law who has that problem. Exact same problem. Serious drug addiction, and it toasted his brain, and now he has extreme paranoia. He's not the same person. So I've seen it in real life. I've seen it on television. I've seen it in the news. And, yeah, I hate it with a passion. I hate it real bad. There we go. So that's Mr. Morgan. Here's Burwar. What's up, man? He says, jump me in the rocket break. Can you please grade this card instead of the Dunsparce? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can do that. Okay, give me a minute. Reiner Schneider, same name. Same name. Rob Reiner directed Princess Bride, one of my favorites. I do have another order, but it's for grades. South Park Rob Reiner episode is peak. That's right. The no smoking episode. Burwar, hey, what's up, man? Okay, so you would like to swap out the Dunsparce for whatever this is going to be. Now, if I could make a suggestion, let me pick whichever one has got a better shot at getting a 10. Would that be better? Let me pick the one that has a better shot at grading 10. All right, hopefully it goes off tonight, but it might not. Here's Tyler Davis. Please grade the Absol and one other from my bag. Okay. Good luck. His father's success probably gave him more money, and the drugs come easy. Yeah, it gives you protection. It gives you connections. Gives you easy money to afford it, so you can never go broke. You never go homeless. You never get destroyed by it. And he's got this shocked, he's got a shell-shocked look in his eyes, but he has no reason to. It's the drugs. I'm telling you, I have a brother-in-law. He has the same exact look. And my in-laws had to get away from him completely because he was dangerous. And we don't know anything about him anymore. He's gone. I haven't heard about him or seen him in years. And he went off the deep end after doing some harder drugs. And I saw him and I heard him talking on the phone after he had like a mental breakdown and his brain was toast. He was like talking in circles, kind of like me. I'm kidding. Here's Absol. All right, I like this Rayquaza. But no, he was gone. He was fully gone from the drugs. And you could tell it just wasn't the same guy anymore. He was like talking in patterns. He was repeating the same thing over and over again. And he was so paranoid that the government was like watching him and that there were aliens. And the first time I met him, he didn't do any of that stuff. Never talked about that kind of stuff. Never behaved that way. Never sounded so, what's the word? Not euphoric, but sort of like, just like he was on the edge or something, like he was going to pop. And that leaves an impression on you. All the cool like drug culture and all that kind of stuff. I already didn't like it. But when you see that with your own eyes, how it leaves people after it sort of, ravages their brain cells, you're like, oh yeah, this is horrible. It's like evil. It's like the most evil product on the planet. You know, somebody sells you M&Ms, that's not good for you. Somebody sells you fentanyl, that's killing like 100,000 people a year, and it doesn't just kill them, it destroys them. Even if they live, they've got a screwed up brain. I like this Rayquaza, but I don't think you would choose that one. So the Weavile's 2 off center. I did not find a strong candidate in here. I want to find something that's worth the money because it's kind of pricey to grade. He said 2, right? So the Absol is absolutely a great choice for the grade. Let me check your other bag too, okay? Let me check your other bag. Drug-induced psychosis. Yes. Yes, he had like memory problem. He had like a paranoia. It was so crazy to watch. And this was a guy who I had just met like a year before, and you could tell he was troubled. You could tell he was like depressed. You could tell he was lonely. And he didn't get along with her parents very well, but her parents were like bend over backwards nice to him anyways. And so he was like this troubled guy. And then he did harder drugs, and it fried him. And he did not recover from that. You just don't come back. Once you're fried, you're gone. It's not like this easy recovery to normal again. Wow, you got a lot of cards, but you know, I can't find one that I would definitely recommend to send out. That's Thin on the bottom. That's Shuckle. That's why I passed Shuckle up. These are Korean. That's just a Torkoal. He's not looking bad, though. Here's Dodrio. Here's Palo Sand. So I feel like I recommend grading the Mega Absol and pocketing the other 45. My childhood friend smokes weed for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. One of the last friends I had, but I had to stop talking to him. Can't do anything sober. Yeah, I think I was reading that sort of like severe usage of weed leads to an increase in dementia. And it's like, man, why wouldn't it? Like, even if you take some drugs that the doctors prescribe to you, like for depression or anxiety, those easily lead to dementia just because you're doing something to your brain. You're not supposed to do things to your brain. You're not supposed to like poison it or flush it with anything. You know, it's like drinking water is good for you. Okay, well, what if you're drinking alcohol every day? You're not supposed to be doing that. It just screws up your whole system. Well, if you're taking drugs in general, you're just not supposed to be flooding your brain with stuff. Here you go, Tyler. So I think having it every now and then for fun doesn't matter, but that's moderation, right? That's moderation. And what you're describing is a friend who he's like dependent on it, you know what I'm saying? And if later in life he developed early dementia, why would that surprise you? You'd be like, yeah, well, yeah, of course, bro. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's me, says Avik. Test results recently made public show signs of arsenic in M&Ms. Sure. Yeah, or you find lead in a food product or some crazy crap like that. Do that turtle card. The Torkoal it is. Okay, let me go find your Torkoal. Which bag was he in? I think he was in this one. Do you stay in contact with any of your siblings? A little bit. I have contact with one of my older sisters. And I just ask her every now and then how things are going. Not too often. I don't bug her too much. But other than that, not really. I don't talk to any of them. There you go. All right. Yeah, this was a pretty crappy family. If you've ever heard, so the homeschoolers were nice. There were parts of my childhood that were nice, but our family was too crazy. It was too crazy there, man. Had to go. There we are. Too crowded. We were like sardines in a tin. How about that? Imagine squeezing 13 people into a home designed for 4 people. That was every day for me. Sharing a bedroom with 5 brothers. And I didn't love it. There are many reasons to go. There we go. All right, read Russ. Russ says, no, the red-shelled turtle. What? He is a red-shelled turtle. Oh, my God. All right, let's go looking for this. I think he went Shuckle. Shuckle's not a turtle. Did he just call? I'm offended. That's a turtle. Shuckle is a bug. Bro. Here he is. All right. The turtle. Oh, my God, bro. Turtle's more like a snail or something. Shuckle's more like a snail. Did I say turtle's more like a snail? Shuckle's more like a snail. Torkoal's an actual turtle. I'm sorry, mister. No, it doesn't matter. I'm just teasing you. Here we are. That's the one. All the food dies and the seed oils. Yuck. Yeah. Yeah, Americans have caught on to all this and really, really, really don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like the poison. We are. Okay. Very good. How hard is it to not add a poisonous ingredient? There we go. Ooh, yeah, beautiful. Look at that, guys. Mega Absol and English Shuckle. Good luck with them. I hope they both grade 10. All right. By the way, did we get an answer about me picking the better of the two cards for the one gentleman? I told him I could pick the better of the two. Did he say that that was cool? Let's see. I don't see his message. Doo, Scooby-Doo. It was Mr. Burwar, and he wanted me to use the Rocket card instead of the Dunsparce, but I was suggesting that he has me pick the better looking card for a 10. Jada says, I went crazy with 3 siblings. I can't imagine 13. So it was 11 siblings, but also 2 parents, right? And we were all squeezed into that home, and there were only 2 bedrooms upstairs and a master bedroom. That's it. Master bedroom and 2 bedrooms. So a total of 3. But mom and dad took the master bedroom. So there's 2 beds, 2 bedrooms for all 11 children. How does that work? It was pretty crazy. All right. So we are moving on to the next order. New order on the website. Let's check it out. We got Mr. Nicholas and Mr. Chad. Nicholas goes first. Nicholas with the big order. He says 2 of the Naruto tops. Oh, yeah. All right, Naruto tops. It's popular. Here it is. Let's go ahead and get a fresh box of this open, and I might be running low on this. It is. It looks like I'm running low on it. All right. Do you have a Game Boy Color as a kid? No. My first Game Boy was the Game Boy Advanced, and my dad strongly did not want me to have it. He fought very hard with my mom to stop me from having it, but she allowed me to have it. And it's a good thing she did, because I feel that the Game Boys made you smarter. See, I think my dad was worried that I'm not like outside playing sports or something, but we did that too. But here's the funny part. He really liked video games, but he thought they were bad for you. He ultimately concluded that video games are bad. And I think that was the wrong take. I was gifted at video games even at a young age. I was extremely good at them. And I could just beat the whole neighborhood at whatever video game we were playing. So I was always very good at any game we were playing. And I loved them. I was fully addicted. They just like pair with my brain, you know. I think for some people, you're well suited for them. And so he was always trying to take my games away, and I hated that. Not only that, but just the fact that he disapproved so much meant I could never share anything about my video games with him. I could never tell him like, oh, I'm doing so well or anything like that, right? He hated them. He thought they were so bad. And of course, I would play them a lot, so he knew that, and he disapproved of that. He didn't know I would make a whole successful YouTube channel on video gaming later. Oops. He goes, your mom got it for your birthday? So there was an agreement. If I taught myself piano, I could have a Game Boy Advance for Christmas. And I did. I taught myself piano and played songs. And as a result of that, she held up her side of the deal and got me a Game Boy, which, of course, that meant my other brothers would also have a pathway to obtaining their own Game Boys. So all of a sudden, we had video games in the home. We originally had the Nintendo 64, and my dad, in sort of an angry fit, took it away. It was a gift from our grandmother, our Filipino grandmother. And I love her. She's a very sassy lady. And she bought it, and she never knew that he took it away like just days after she left back to Kansas City. He took it away while we were playing Mario 64. Probably one of the most era-defining games ever created, Mario 64. And I must have been like 8 or something like that. I was quite young. And he took it away and sold it and kept the money. He didn't even give the money to us. How insane was this? So that was like a that was like a mortal sin in my mind. I don't even think he knew how extremely bad that was. Like, I never liked him again after that point. But there would be many reasons not to like him over time. But I don't think he ever knew how extremely angry. Oh, whoa, what do we got? I'm telling this like story of childhood, like not a great story. And you're busy pulling out of 10 Itachi Uchiha. Look at that, guys. Oh my God, I wish we could pull a 1 of 1. God, I hope we're close to a 1 of 1. These are handing out really low pop numbers here. Look at that. Out of 10. That's beautiful, man. What an awesome grandma. Yeah, she's really nice. She's such a strange grandma. I remember I have this weird memory of her where we're in our vehicle and my mom's in the driver's seat and she's in the passenger seat and I'm behind her. And we wanted like candy or something. I don't remember why. But my mom basically said no. She's really tough. She's like, no candy for them. And then she steps out of the car for some reason to get something. And my grandma whips around and she's like, all right, don't tell your mom. I'm going to give you candy, which we all rejected out of pure fear. I remember rejecting it because I was terrified of my mom because she was such a harsh person. She was extremely harsh. Whatever it is you were going to do that was wrong, she would punish you in some way where you 1000% regretted it. Like you weren't just sort of punished. You were punished until you severely regretted it. So we were terrified. And that works for controlling children. I mean, you can get your children to do what they're supposed to do. But that doesn't mean you're going to have a great relationship with your children ever. And it was so interesting that grandma was so fast to disobey her rules. Like grandma just didn't care. Same with the video games. I'm sure she knew my dad wasn't exactly a video games fan, and she bought that Nintendo anyways. So she was kind of a decadent person. There was this moment where we were in grandma and grandpa's home. I told this story before, where he steps out of the room and she sneaks off and she brings this little container out and it's full of jewelry that she had been buying without his permission. They're not wealthy. They're very poor. But she had been sneaking off and been buying like pearls and stuff for herself. So she was maybe a little sneaky. It was really funny. Looking back on it, it kind of matched her, her profile. There we go. Grandma was like, damn, these kids need some fun. Yeah, something like that. Whew. All right, that's Nicholas Pacheco. Yeah, let's get him a bounty spot for this for sure. Here you go, Nicholas. All right. I remember sort of disapproving of her for the chocolate thing, for trying to give us candy. I was like, whoa, dude, you're overstepping your boundaries there. You can't, So even as a very young child, I sort of understood the conflict of interest there. And I was like, I don't know whose side I'm on. Okay, so where's that bounty? I think it's over here. Here it is. All right, but she's cool. And I met her 2 years ago. We drove out to Kansas City for Collecticon, and I stopped at my grandparents' home to even see if they were alive because I didn't know if they were alive, and they were. And so I saw my grandma for all of about 20 to 30 minutes. She's still kicking it. She's like 84 or something. Very talkative, very yappy. She blah, blah, blah. She talked very well. And so there you have it. Here's Nicholas. All right, Nicholas with an N. Let's go find your bag. She's got the yappers, man. All right, my grandpa's still alive too somehow. He's really old, man. All right, maybe I'll live that long. Probably not. Probably over here eating Tootsie Rolls, not doing well. You don't have enough hate, and you never will. Who, me? I don't know what you mean by that, but you're referring to Naruto. Oh, you're talking about Itachi. Like what? All right, Mr. Chad. Okay, so just depends on what you're talking about. Rocket Pack Break, Dragon Ball Z Manga Booster SB1, and Topps Pokemon Merlin sticker. You got it. So let's grab this SB01. Please consider stocking Data A Live, Volume 3, Weiss. Data Live. Okay. I will definitely look into that. Data Live, huh? When does that come out? Let me look it up. Weiss Data Live, Volume 3 release. So the Japanese version came out in October. English. The English version is coming out. Okay, there's no confirmation for an English version. Huh, that's interesting. Let's go grab a packet of these. My wife, grandpa, lived to 104, and he was Filipino. Really? Damn, bro. All right. Now, the Rocket Pack Break as well. Let's get you in there. Throw these out. Throw this out. Got it. Okay. Boop. Pretty interesting stories, huh, guys? Those are old, man. right. I think that they're interesting because they also help you think about how to deal with your children, you know? So, like, I think my dad, when he sold that Nintendo 64, he should have taken the cash from it and he should have just given it to us because it was ours. It was our property, you know? And I think that was a big mistake for him not to have done that. And so you don't want to make that mistake with your kids because they might actually remember it forever. They might be like, hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. They might be 40 years old telling their audience about this dumb thing you did in the past that stood out to them. Here's, ooh, the sticker pack. Ooh. You ready? Oops. I still have my Nintendo 64 for my birthday. Nice. All right. I ended up getting to play Mario 64 later in life. Very happy to have played it, but it's a bummer I didn't get to play it and finish it as a child. I think that would have been more exciting. I love how they eventually they released it on the Nintendo DS. You guys remember that? I think I played that version. I think that was the first time I beat it. And you could play as Wario, Yoshi, Luigi, or Mario. It's Misty. There we go. It's nice that your grandma still chatted with you like no time had passed. She was kind of sad, actually. I guess my family in general fell apart. So all of my siblings sort of fell apart out of my family, and they don't visit her at all. And then I was surprised to discover, because she said this, that even my aunts and uncles, children, and aunts and uncles had all kind of fallen apart too. So it wasn't just my family. There were problems in the other families too. There was like divorces and stuff. I was like, whoa, I did not know that. Here we go. What do we got? All right. We've got the guy with the pimples on his head. He's got 6 dots. That makes him 6. There we go. I never know what to do with the hollows from this set because there's so many hollows and they just repeat like bulk cards. All right. I had my first pocket bussy from when I was in high school. What? Pocket, but you're not joking, like a sex toy from high school? Damn, bro. Throw that thing away. That's gross. All right. I still have my birthday consoles. There we go. Well, I'm sad I didn't take my Pokemon cards with me when I left home. That is the one thing I wish I still had. But you know what? I did okay later in life anyways, collecting some of them back, like this one right here. That was a big one. That was right in the front of my folder, the Mew. So I get to have a lot of joy from collecting these as an adult. How cool is that? And I think that other adults are experiencing that too. It's actually, you know, there's so many things you can do in life, but this, just having a Pokemon card is, you know, it's pretty wholesome. It's not like what we were just talking about with the drugs and all that stuff. You know, you're not getting mixed in with doing anything nefarious. It's pretty harmless. All right, that pack break's getting close, guys. What time is it? It's 7:17. Still time for it to go off. Wow, only 20? Setting right now. Krillin was yes, only 20. Krillin was Goku's first friend. At least he isn't Yamcha. I think Krillin breathes out those holes since he has no nose. Or is that a myth? Krillin keeps taking L's. I should watch Dragon Ball. You know, Dragon Ball would play right after Pokemon, and I would just turn it off. It's funny because I know I have one brother who watched all of the Dragon Balls, so it must have been entertaining to a certain degree, but I didn't watch it. All right. Oops. So hard to get me to sit down and watch shows because I was always playing video games. A video game was better to me than watching a show or a movie. It was hard to get me to watch movies, too. All right, Shiftery. It's still that way. The worst part of a video game? The story. The story is the worst part. You just kind of want to skip past the story and get to the part of the game where you're actually playing the game. All right, so we've got Shiftery. Goku's a menace. You would like OG Dragon Ball better than Z, I think. Here it is. I know I'd recognize the opening if I watched it again. I never had a device like McChicken Jr. had. You never had a sex toy. Anyone here never had a sex toy? Oops. All right. Yeah. I've never heard of those. Ooh. In high school, though, that's kind of, that's grody, dude. We're thankful that you shared with us, though. So there's PSA 10, Pikachu. All right. And Old Maid. Boom. I spelled Old Maid wrong. Boom. Somebody uploaded as YouTube the sagas as feature films. It's a good watch. I should probably watch that. Hey, mister, I just cashed up you. Ooh, you did. Okay, let me lower the price of this Pikachu. He's no longer 50. He's going to be 45. So we are repricing these to have modern prices on them. You can tell a card has a modern updated price if you see the double dots. The double dots kind of tell you what month we're on. So, what do we have here? Mr. John Ailman. Hey, hey, mister, please give a English 151 to a random. Is this a donation? You're doing a donation? I think he's doing a donation, everyone. Give me a minute here. That's pretty sweet, man. Let's see. So I tell you what, let's wrap up the Chansey, because we got to give away a Chansey, like the title suggests. Was there one spot left on the Chansey? Let's give it out to the public. All right. One person. Reroll. Nicholas Pacheco. Hey, hey. All right, Nicholas Pacheco, you're number 20. Now we're going to give the card out. Oh, free one. Oh, lordy. Landed on. Did you see it almost landed on 1? And then it tipped back to 19. Sorry, Temlet. So 19 was who? Tyler Davis. Oh, yeah. The night just keeps getting better for Mr. Tyler. All right, Tyler. So that's a gift from Javier to you. And let me put it in a sleeve for you. So I got to put it in a new sleeve because his name was back there. Okay. Grabbing this. Me. Here we go. Tyler Davis. And we'll say from Javier Aovic. All right, so now you know who it came from. It was a gift from this guy. It was a giveaway gift. Super cool, man. Thank you very much, he says. Yeah, it's pretty cool. That Chansey is no joke. He's a good-looking card. Might go up in price pretty easily every time. All right, so I believe what I'm reading is there is a giveaway to be held. Mr. John Ailman. So what should we call this? I think we'll call this the John giveaway. John Ailman. Is this your first purchase, John? I don't know if I recognize your name very well. John's a broad name. A lot of Johns out there, you know what I'm saying? That's really nice of you. Let me go ahead and pop this in here. Are you holding on to any Surging Sparks cases? Not really. I think I have enough to restock our inventory, but I don't have like 10 cases of it. I think one of my largest big holdings is Prismatic. I took a big position on Prismatic. And then the other one would be Destined Rivals, one of my favorite sets. Why? Just because it's Team Rocket, no other reason. Team Rocket. Doesn't matter if the cards are good or bad, it's Team Rocket. So I got a big chunk of Destined Rivals. I think I got like 6 or 8 cases of those. And I'm happy with it. And I'm not going to sell through it. If you guys buy a bunch of Team Rocket, I'm just going to restock it. So I'm not going to let that amount fall down. I'm just a big fan of it. Now, Prismatic's probably a better set, but I don't know. I just have this real big love of Team Rocket. Probably because the height of my Pokemon card collecting craze when I was younger was the release of the Rocket set. Right? That was a big deal for me. It was so fun. It was so nostalgic. I had a great feeling to it. The bad guys Pokemon, you know, they were like naughty or something. Let's see. Hold on, let me read this. Okay. No bias, but Prismatic sucks. It does. It sucks in the sense that it just hands out really poo-poo hits. It does. I actually fear that Prismatic is not as good of a set as, let's say, Evolving Skies, because the pull rate is so severe. Like, Evolving Skies wasn't easy either. And yet, you did pull stuff. But as Shahir was just learning, you can open up a lot of Prismatic, and it's already expensive. You can open up a lot of Prismatic and just pull, like, doo-doo cards, like 6 trainers, right? And that sucks, man. All right. My name's John, too. John Vasquez. A lot of Johns. So this is John Ailman. We'll make it... Let's have it be Ailman, the last name. Oops. I already messed it up. Let's try that again. Got to be legible. Got to be readable. So Mr. Ailman is donating this pack to the audience. It's not exactly a cheap pack either. The price on this pack has been going up. I think my price is a little high, actually, right? So that says Ailman, A-L-E-M-A-N, and that is the next giveaway card. Let me set up Nightbot for it, okay? I'm going to toss Mr. Shahir in there early. He gets a spot in there. He has such a tough round. All right. Ailman with a capital A. Now, we're going to toss Mr. Shahir in there because he was such a big supporter yesterday. I'd love to see you pull a bonus here, if you could. Okay, and don't worry, you can get in here a second time, Shahir. So if you type in Ailman, you'll still be able to get in. All right, we'll do that for you for a little while, I think. Thank you so much, Mr. John. Let's see what's next. We have any other orders to service? All right, here's Miss Kayla. She says, let's try 2KU Harry Potters. Here we are. Ooh. According to Google, some people refer to Shuckle as a turtle or tortoise, and to some a big turtle. It is known for letting berries ferment in its shell. What? That's like calling the legendary cats legendary dogs, but I get it. He's got a shell. I always knew he was a bug type, though. Did you know I was actually a big Shuckle fan? I love that he was like a super high defense Pokemon, but sadly that was not enough. I think he had low HP was the problem. So yes, he had good defense, but his HP was bad. And the only way people would play him is they would use, I don't remember the name of the move, but he would swap his defense for attack. And so he could suddenly spike his attack out of nowhere to be extremely high. And that was the setup for either, with Shuckle, you either set him up for defense or you flipped his attack over and like one-shot your opponent, which they did not expect. Okay, let's see. But I liked him, and I would play him on my, a little Albus Dumbledore. All right. Glad you recognized them as cats and not dogs. Yeah, people call them dogs for a long time, and I never got it, because one of my favorites from the group has always been Raikou, and you can just tell right away. He's modeled around a tiger, saber-toothed tiger, and so it never made sense to call that a dog. Entei is maybe the most dog-like, just because of his body shape, but I mean, come on, he looks like a lion. And then Suicune always looked kind of like, I don't know, he was like a unicorn almost, but you can tell he's kind of a leopard. Bellatrix Lestrange. Ooh. How much were these? These are $3 a pack if you guys are looking to open some of these. These are Harry Potter cards. Harry Potter. All right. Very good. Let's toss these into your bag. They're a bit of fun. You look like you could use your own box at this point. So we are reaching a point where you are in the box territory. Let's go grab a box. All right, what do we got? Maybe one of these. Ooh, I gotta be careful. I'm gonna knock the internet out. All right. So, Miss Kayla, you got baggie number 1, baggie number 2, and this shall start baggie number 3. You got a lot of stuff. Cool, I like them. Thanks, mister. No problem. All right. So that's what happens. If you end up with a lot of stuff, we'll eventually put you into either an overflow or you get your own box. All right. We'll put this here. And we'll write your name on the box so we can find it fast. Kayla. All right. And where shall we keep this? This is the next question. Well, let's put it here. let's move these over here. And NHCC can still be there. And we'll move you right in between them. So you're on my left side now. And this is good because it actually opens up room in the K box where I can put the bounty and the store credit again. I've been storing those there because it's very convenient. All right, there's that giveaway. Very nice. We have an order from, excuse me, it's Mr. Anthony Haymeyer. What's up, man? Store credit plus $2 for one Dragon Ball Japanese Fusion World. Fusion World? What is that? I'm a bit confused. Let me take a quick look. Dragon Ball Fusion World. That sounds familiar. Fighter's Ambition, History of Z, Beyond Generation, Manga Booster, Manga Booster. So which of those is correct? Fusion World. Is that the well, let me see how much store credit you got. Maybe that'll make sense of it. Let's see. I've been using Mister, I've been storing my nuts all winter. What? You must have so much nuts. That's a lot of nuts. Manga Booster Japanese. Aha, there we go. All right, cool. So Manga Booster Japanese. There we have it. All right. Let's snip this. Ooh. Doobie-doo. This music is so cool. Oh, a little SR with the golden border. Nice. All right, I'll go looking for your bag real fast. Ailman. You probably can't read that, but it's Ailman with an A. Ailman. Okay, let's go find your bag. Maybe in here. Aha. Wait, let me reread your message. Yeah, okay, you got it, man. Ta-da! We'll put this in here. Thank you very much, Mr. Anthony. Good. And let's see what's going on over here now. So we've had some big orders. I'd love to meet some new people, by the way, like Mr. John Ailman. I think he might be new. Here's an order from Nicholas Pacheco. Is this fresh? 2 Tops Naruto? That looks fresh. Let's go grab them. Tops Naruto. Okay, 1, 2. All right. I'm actually running low on these, so it's time for me to start looking into restock fees. So it's time for me to investigate that. These have been selling very well. Even though they're a little pricey, they're a premium product. If you've been paying attention, there's only 5 packs per box. And many of these cards coming out have very low pop numbers on them. So they'll be like out of 5, out of 25, out of 10. So we've been pulling those pretty consistently. It's not every pack, but man, it feels like it's almost every other pack has a numbered card in it. So yes, a little pricier, but an immediately premium product. Plus the commons, you get like 8 of them. Can't get enough of this Naruto. All right, here goes. Oh my gosh, like this one right here, guys. Hey, that's Kabuto. 5 out of 5. Shadow in the Darkness. Danger approaches Sasuke. That is 5 out of 5, everybody. That's crazy, man. Yeah, so again, these cost more than a standard pack, but you start out with like 5 out of 5, 1 out of 10, 1 out of 25, pretty fast. So I'm betting there was a very short print run of these. That's my actual suspicion. And they did not include high-numbered cards, like out of 200 or anything like that. Invitation from the Sound. Ninja Handbook. So hopefully these go to the moon for you guys. Sasuke. I mean, it's Topps. Topps is such a reputable brand. Shikamaru. I don't think anything like this has existed before. Haku and Tobirama. Okay, so I'll slip these back in their original sleeve. And now, here's... Wow, and this one's out of 26. Gara out of 26. I'm telling you, they're just pulling hit after hit. Wow. It really puts some perspective on these when you understand that the price is also a part of the function of the high pull rate, or the pull rate on the rares. Not so bad. All right, so before we sell any more of these, I think I need to take a look into the restock and if I already have any more coming over or if this is all I've got, because I don't remember what I initially ordered. Here's a little Tsunade. Who's the sexiest character in, look at this. Wouldn't you like a one-on-one of this? Who's the sexiest character in this show? Here's Sasuke. What's the love story? Are there any love stories? Who's the baddest bad guy? There we go. Very nice. That's for Mr. Nicholas. Look at that. Someone needs to pull a one of one. It feels like it's very possible. This feels like a set that was not printed very hard. Like it wasn't printed in huge quantities. And they've only got these low-numbered cards in them. Madara is the baddest bad guy. Madara, huh? All right. By the way, look at our numbers tonight. We got a nice following tonight. I want to appreciate you guys for spending time with us. We had like 60-ish watchers in the morning time stream and then 78 watchers at night. Now, I don't know how many people watch both, but some people do not watch both. They only watch the morning or they only watch the nighttime stream. So when you add all of those people together, we got a nice little group. We were talking about that in the daytime stream. Let's see. I was trying to explain to somebody, I said, well, our numbers look pretty similar to the past if you combine the daytime and the evening stream. Naruto, did it all arrive already is my question. Ah, we got more coming. That's good. So we've got a small restock on its way. And then what is this going for these days? Let's see what's going on. All right. So I'm really liking this product, and I'm thinking about taking a restock of them on. And we are not going to change the price. The price is going to remain the same. All right, we've taken on a restock. Wow, $100 in taxes is crazy. Nicholas Williams, he says, 3 of the Dragon Ball Manga 1 and 3 Dragon Ball Manga 2. You got it, man. Gara looking dope. I sent for a pack. Give me a second here. Let me respond to this. Karis is teasing me over here. Let's see. Let me just give her a response. She's like, come get me. Let's see. All right. So, 3 of these. She's waiting for me to get off work, bro. 1, 2, 3. This Psyduck is turning the screen a different color. I hate that. Damn you, Psyduck. All right. And 3 Dragon Ball mangas. She's been off work for a little while. See, it's almost 8 p.m. And we gotta get these opened and get out of here. Ready? All right, Nicholas Williams. There you go. Your name sounds like a fancy clothing store in the mall. Did you know that? Yes, I shop at Nicholas Williams. Yes, I get my turtlenecks at Nicholas Williams. Like a Nicholas Sonoma or something like that. I don't know. You ready? All right. Kind of like this guy. He's going, What do we go? Ooh, I wish. Hey, you too could start up a brand in the mall and sell people overpriced clothing. That must be really hard to do, to get a brand like that running. I think that those, I was at the Galleria Mall in St. Louis. That's the most populated mall in the St. Louis area. And I got to say, it felt like it was in decline. You know what was crazy? I pointed this out to Karis while we were walking around. I noticed that there were like 15. Now, I don't want to say 15, but almost every other store in the mall was either soap, lotion, or perfume. Does that happen at your mall? So it's a 3-storied mall. It's got a lot of businesses in it. Obviously, there's some clothing businesses, but it's like every other business is trying to sell you perfume or soap or a bath bomb or lotion. There was a Bed Bath & Beyond, and right next to it was another Bed Bath & Beyond. It was like, you know, it was, what's the name of that? What's the name of that? Actually, it's like Bed Bath and Body Works or something. I don't remember. It's like some sort of lotion. Pour all this lotion on your skin company. You know, hormone disrupting slop company. And right next to it is a competitor selling the exact same product. And it's just sort of like, bro, this is crazy, isn't it? Here's Piccolo. Here's Kami. And here's King Cold. You can't even start with the bridge. You'll become a victim of forever mischaracterizing everyone. Bath and Body Works. That's right, Bath and Body Works. You got it. You got it. Yeah. So there were just so many, and then you know there were like the shops that are just in the middle of the walkway. You know, there's little carts with some guy selling you stuff. Well, those were all perfumes too. And then there was like a Godiva chocolate ripoff. It was called like Bissinger's or something. I don't remember. And we walked in there and we bought 3 truffles. They were tiny. They were like this big. 3 truffles. $8 for 3 tiny truffles. Unbelievable. And then I ate it. I was like, I'd rather have a peanut butter cup. You know, I'd rather have a Reese's. 3 little dots of chocolate. And they're like, yep, that'll be $8 for that. Holy, bro. All right, we got Bulma. How are they going to stay in business? It doesn't make any sense to me. Vegeta. You got Vegeta. That's my favorite one. 3-wick candles on sale. Right, candles. So candles are a perfume. So you got the candle stores are everywhere. The lotion stores are everywhere. The soap stores are everywhere. The perfume stores are everywhere. And even companies that are selling clothing, they'll feature stuff like perfume in their windows. And so I just sort of realized, wow, this must be one of the highest margin items out there that they sell at the mall. They sell you smell at the mall. That's what they sell. We got Son Goku. Oh, yeah. My malls have been harassing people to try cologne samples as you walk. Yeah, those colognes probably cost them like $5 to make, and they want you to buy it for $40. That's the only explanation, is that it's a very high-margin product. So they don't want to sell you anything else. They're not selling you gold. They're not selling you silver because there's no money to make in gold and silver. It's too thin of a margin. So they sell you perfume that they bought from China for $2, and they sell it to you a bottle of it for like $40 probably, because it's the brand name. So it's the new hustle. Here's Frieza. But yeah, I mean, the mall didn't have a lot else. There was a giant Apple store, and it was very full. There were a lot of people in the Apple store. Good enough. I mean, Apple's great. You know, they got good phones and all that. It's fair enough. But just the number of perfume shops was just nuts, dude. I couldn't believe it. Every other shop is selling. Even if you go into like that. So there's another type of store where they're selling you like crystals. And even they'll have like a whole portion of their store that's just incense. You know what I'm talking about? That's for you, Nicholas Williams. Didn't you have a box? You had a box at some point, but I think you started a new bag, right? So let's find that new bag. Mr. Nicholas. So even those stores will have perfume in the form of incense. So you get incense and candles. And yeah, it's pretty bad. Everyone's selling candles because it's the only thing people are buying that also has a high margin. My advice is stop buying candles. Stop buying that stuff. It's not even worth it. You burn through it, and then you need more of it. It's a consumable. It's like pissing your money out into the toilet. Don't do it. No more candles. It's a waste of money. Here's Miss Kayla for more KU Harry Potter. All right, so it's 7:42, and I got to wrap up now. Let's grab some of these. I want to run till 8, but I am being texted. You hate on silver and gold at every possible chance you get. Why is that? No. I just said silver and gold is good. I don't hate on it. You've got the wrong perception. Now, do I think that silver and gold is as good as my Pokemon cards? No, because the Pokemon cards just consistently beat silver and gold. But I was talking about how in the store they want to sell you junk candles, but they don't want to sell you silver and gold because the shop owners will make more money selling you junk candles than so. Oh, I see. So you think that's no. You're misunderstanding. That's not a dig on silver and gold. It means that it has so much value you can't easily acquire it. That's what it means. So you misinterpreted what I was trying to say. I wasn't trash talking silver and gold. What I'm trying to say is the way a lot of people make money in the country today is they buy garbage for very cheap from China, and then they sell it at a very high markup. But you can't do that with gold and silver because nobody's selling it for cheap. That's how you know it has value. That's how you know it's the real deal. You can't buy it for cheap. Everyone's going to ask the market price for it. So you can buy it and hope that it goes up, or you could be like an established gold silver shop and rely on low margins but high volume. So volume play, which is really probably just something only establishments can get away with. But a little, shop in the mall started up by some guy yesterday. He can't do that. So it was actually a compliment on gold and silver. We are. If wifey is giving you the look, you got to drop the pokies and run. I got to run, guys. Okay, my bad. Yeah. I can see how maybe, I didn't explain that whole part. I was actually taking a dig on the candle market. I was saying you shouldn't buy candles because it's likely this very overpriced consumable that you just pour money into and then it catches on fire and then it's gone. Same with perfume. You run out of it and then you need more of it. But you don't do that with gold and silver. Here it is. Draco Malfoy. Ooh. All right. Pretty fascinating, isn't it? So no more orders, guys. I got to wrap up here. Here we got the car. We've got Fred Weasley. Ooh, the Weasleys. They all have red hair. They had a big family, but they all liked each other. Very different. All right. You can sell gold and get food. Always buy gold. Yeah, we were talking about this. A lot of stuff ends up in a landfill, but stuff in the world that has real value never ends up in a landfill. So you're not going to catch these Pokemon cards in a landfill, probably. You're certainly not going to catch gold in a landfill, not on purpose. Apparently, in some landfill, there's some guy's laptop with a Bitcoin wallet password worth like $1 billion or something now, right? Isn't that a thing? Somebody remind me of that story. That's a crazy story. All right, there we are. I think you can make money reselling coins, mister. You could sell for a premium here because of the business or reputation you have built. I think I could. However, I think I do so well with Pokemon that's the better specialty. So the problem with the coins and the gold is it would kind of one tops Naruto for Mr. NHCC. The problem is it would divide my capital between two products. And then I think also it would divide the attention of the shoppers. So like, why don't I buy a lot of sports cards? For the same reason. I could buy sports cards. There's an audience for them. But if you guys had to watch sport cards get open, and you're really mostly a nerdy Pokemon fan, you might not accept that. You might be like, I'm clicking off of this. Damn, bro. Out of 25, Rock Lee. So I just sent in for a restock on these, a pretty sizable restock. I'm a fan. I'm officially a fan of these Naruto cards. They are dropping out of 25s and out of 5s and out of 10s pretty quick. And I think we could pull an out of a 1 of 1 if we get lucky. So here's Gaara, here's Kakashi, here's an Ebisu, here's a Kabuto, and here's a Sakura, Sasuke. Rock Lee, let's go. All right, here we go with this. And then let's grab a hard sleeve. Now, what did we do with you? We reset you, didn't we? Yeah, we reset you. You got like a fresh box now or something. There we go. For these square cut cards, this is probably one of the uses of a top loader that is not so bad. But for Pokemon cards, I genuinely don't think it's needed. All right, NHCC. Thank you so much. Let me put this in your box. I'm wrapping up, guys. So that's completed. Let's jump over here. Oh, good. Nathan Norman says, with the pre-grades, I'm happy to send more if you see more cards that are worth the pre-grade. If you feel like I sent too much, happy to save a store credit, as I was unsure how much to send. So $60 for pre-grades for my gradable cards in my A-tier bag. Nathan Norman. Ooh, Nathan, I might need to do that after this stream and the next stream, okay? So we might save that for tomorrow. You going to be around tomorrow? You don't want me to rush that. And I'm out of time. It's 7:48. I'm supposed to be done by 7:30. And my wife's asking me to get off. Here we are. Very nice. All right. Grabbing these. I can rush through it, but I think it would be better to do tomorrow. So we can go nice and slow. All slow like. Here's Might Guy. Jirobo. Secrets of the Mangieko. Here's Neji. Here's Hiruzen. Zero Motivation. Oops. Seikon and Kiba. All right, so the first pack, no numbered card in this one. It's crazy because we're getting so many numbered cards, but that pack was just a normal pack. Pack number 2. Going to have to find someone else to watch. Have another 2 hours at my desk. No! Here's Hot-Blooded Confrontation. Here's Zabuza. You know, I wish we had somebody who lived out here with me, like Alexis or somebody, who wanted to go live on like a second Cardconomist stream or something, but I'm not sure if you would watch them necessarily. Here's Orochimaru and Astonishing Truth. But it would be cool to just sort of like hand this stream over to them or something like that. We were hoping to make Alexis do that. That's a tough round on the Naruto's. 2 packs, no hollows. I guess that's possible, everyone. Beware of that. I'll put you on here, Mr. Nathan. Nathan Norman. All right, and let me read your message again. I'll be there. Otherwise, I'll rewatch later. I appreciate it, mister. So you ordered this in the nighttime stream. I can either do it tomorrow in the morning time or the nighttime stream again. But let's see, you sent $60 for pre-grades. That's 20 pre-grades. That's a big order of pre-grades. So we're going to do a good job on that, and we'll go through your A stuff really well, okay? All right, big sandals to fill. Yeah, that's right, big sandals to fill. Let's see. So, Mr. Nathan. Nathan. Here's Nathan Gordon. Kendo Pelor. Natalie. Nathan Norman. Whoa, that's a big bag, dude. And this is the A bag over here. Is that right? So you want all this pre-graded. You got it, man. Let me pop this in here, and I'll leave your bag out, because I think this was the last order. Okay, I know that would take a while to do a good job at that. Just checking all this, making sure it's all good. All right, so we're wrapping up. Let me hand out a spot on this. We've got that Norm guy. Is that Nathan Norman? You're on twice. That Norm guy. So maybe you'll pull it. You never know. You have 2 and 20 odds now. And here's Mr. Chad. And here's Edward Cornelio, the very lucky Edward Cornelio. You've been very lucky. Sorry, I didn't get your trade thing done. I ended up getting really busy. There it is, guys. We're done for the Wednesday night stream. We'll be back on for Thursday morning and, of course, Thursday evening. I'll see you guys there, all right? You guys have a nice night. Thanks for hanging out and the great conversation. So I'll see you tomorrow, okay, guys? See you later.